pleasure to be here. Pleasure to see basketball come back to Rotorua, and pleasure to start it off with a little bit of rapid league, the fastest league in New Zealand. It's going to be too quick for those Rotoruians. How do we go with that one?
Yeah, we'll run with that. Quick look at the Skyboard Rapid League standings. Of course, the Nuggets going 1-0, getting it done over Southland, looking good with their local core. The Tuatara, the Saints, the Giants, the Panthers getting it done on their opening night.
Historic first win for the Panthers as we take a look at page 2 with the Tauranga Whai sitting there at 8th place. And the Sharks and Bulls, Jets, the lone winless teams left in the Rapid League so far.
They'll get there though, of course. Exciting times ahead. Lots to look forward to tonight as we take a look at the Otago Nuggets starting 5. Rusk, Bardsley being moved down to the Rapid League, and Smiler, Martin, and Boomer.
Matt Bardsley back where he's got the one single game scoring record. So he is well familiar with the Rapid League format. It was a fantastic addition to the Otago Nuggets title chasing hopes a season ago.
And for the Phi, Thompson, Masters, Lewis, Bazant, and Boucher. Similarly, Bazant sliding down to Skyboard Rapid League action.
And dropping 10 points a game right now is Jaden Bazant, a high-scoring guard. And you do see those teams that have a lot of youth last season ago and a little bit of veteran noose as well, aka the Nelson Giants with Sam Dempster out there occasionally. Seem to find a good mix in Rapid League, Glory.
I'm surprised his body held up.
So is he.
The Chemist Warehouse head-to-head, of course. Masters and Martins, the one to look forward to. Stat categories pretty much similar. Rebounds per game a little bit different, but Casey, we're talking about it a little bit earlier. The made threes per game for the Phi, expecting that maybe to be a little bit higher.
Yeah, you look at their NZNBL team, they shoot more than anybody else in the competition. They'll be looking to lift that up a bit. Marster's a fantastic rebounder, getting over 6 per game right now. And Martin, equally impressive with 9 rebounds the last time out.
9 points, 9 rebounds for his opening showing against the Southland Sharks. Almost underway here in Rotorua. Our match officials for tonight, that man there, Sam Tan, Bryn Watson, and Olivia Murray. An exciting one tonight here in Unison Arena. Boys getting ready to tip off. Both two very strong local cores. That helps a lot, Casey.
It certainly does, especially the continuity from season to season, although some new stuff being run by new coach Mike Kelly for the program. So that familiarity that those players have helps even when you're learning the new stuff that the new coaching staff is putting in.
And here we go, round 2, Sal's NBL 2025. It will be the Tauranga Whai with the opening position. 4-minute quarters, of course, nothing else like it in the world. Boucher, Bazant, of course. Tatui Lewis, the second all-time leading scorer. They turn over on their first possession.
Well, that's what happens when he tries to pass. That's when he get the score. He put the ball up.
Back-to-back empty possessions to start our Rapid League game here tonight.
Good crash there by Bardsley. Jet Thompson has to be a bit more aware of boxing out Matt Bardsley. Otherwise, the Slippery Eel is going to have offensive rebounds all night long.
What a nickname.
Yeah, I actually did that to him personally. That's actually my fault. Sorry, Maddie.
That's a C. Frank. Oh, my gosh. Creative, though. Bazant.
It is accurate. He chose Jaden Bazant's nice drive there. Was not accurate on the hoop, but probably be accurate at the Chemist Warehouse stripe.
29 years old, Jaden Bazant, a recent father, you were saying, Casey?
Yeah, he's sliding into maturity. This is Jaden. So it's what you have to do when you get towards 30. What you don't have to do is keep driving to the cup like that, but he's still got the skill set. And this is the first of the Chemist Warehouse stripe.
Casey Frank offering a little bit of a commentator's curse on that foul call.
If I'm blocking shots from where I'm sitting, then all these players are in trouble.
Good on the second, he splits the Chemist Warehouse free throws. Nuggets now looking for their first points. Smiler, his second year with the Nuggets. Gets it into Caleb Martin, who we've spoken about. It's been really impressive. Liam Boomer making his NBL debut. Spins, step back. Can't get it to go.
Well, the play actually worked really well. Caleb Smiler was wide open for the catch and shoot, but the pass wasn't made and ended up in an empty possession, much like the one that just happened there for the Phi.
There is the Slippery Eel. Nuggets still yet to score tonight. And running a 6-man roster, the Nuggets. Obviously a shorter roster to take away a long flight from Dunedin. Into Liam Boomer, Caleb Martin. Westlake boys battle, steps back, gets the foul, not the bucket, but we'll head to the Chemist Warehouse.
I think Martin's pretty fortunate there to get that whistle. I would like to have seen that ball go into the post to Matt Bardsley. Had a nice matchup and a deep post position. That's a couple of plays in a row here for the Nuggets where the option that's there for them, they're deciding to pass up on and creating more difficult opportunities of it.
First points on the board for the Nuggets by way of a Chemist Warehouse free throw. Christian Martin, 21 years old, out of Auckland. Good on the second.
Big recruit for this Nugget squad to bring a little youth. They've had that core group that's all right around turning 30 years old now, getting a little bit older. And you got to find some young legs occasionally to inject a little speed out there.
Jaden Bazant not looking like he's 29 with that kind of speed as he likes this matchup here with Liam Boomer. Finds Thompson in the corner and gets it to go.
Nice release there by Jet Thompson. The deep penetration of Jaden Bazant collapses the defense and creates that passing angle. And the quick catch and shoot. The ball to go through and the Phi have there. Back to the lead.
Thompson actually with somewhat of a long-standing NBL career already, only 21 years of age, 22 years of age himself, but plenty of games with the Bulls and now with the Phi over the last couple of years.
Had a little stint in NBL 1 as well, so could have some more games had he not defected us for that short amount of time, but it's okay, we welcome him back.
We forgive you. Bardsley will stop, pop, and can't connect, and just some empty positions for the Nuggets. Not really generating a lot of offense, Casey.
Yeah, not a lot of penetration for the Nuggets. They need to bend the defense a little bit more.
Masters likes that shot.
Sometimes you don't have to bend the defense, you just got to catch and shoot. Right side of the court, doing some nice things for the Phi as they hit back-to-back triples.
And once again, foul beyond the arc.
Well, Jet Thompson, don't argue this to the official because he's called it twice now. That is 2 Martin triples that went missing, but get a chance to see their way home from the Chemist Warehouse stripe because fouls on the shooter. You can see Jet Thompson's disappointed with himself.
Some colourful words there, luckily he's not mic'd up. Censored version from Casey Frank, of course. Martin buries his first free throw.
It is always unfortunate when you shoot, or you foul a shooter that's shooting that 3-point shot. Early in the game, though, you can recover from that mistake, but you got to learn from it. That's 2 possessions you've done in a row. To find a different way to challenge, because the way Jet Thompson is trying to defend it is just getting him into trouble at the moment.
Martin, clearly a prolific free throw shooter as well, as he buries those 2 from the Chemist Warehouse. And Jaden Boucher, a little uphill handoff under Masters with all the space in the world.
Masters is growing in confidence these last couple of weeks. Had some really big buckets at the end of that Franklin Bulls game, even though the Phi came up short. But this aggressiveness this last couple of possessions to catch the shoot as we see Martin get back to the cup and end one. He's just going 3-point play to 3-point play. Much to the same as Masters was on the other side of the court.
That may be Caleb Smiler with that one.
Oh, pardon me. Well, still the Nuggets scoring 3 at a time. They only count 3s right now.
Great finish there. Nice. Smiler.
Nice drive by Caleb. Finishing with the strong right hand. Fortunate it wasn't a shot blocker behind him. Otherwise, would have finished with the left. Create that distance.
All tied up here in Rotorua. A minute to go in the opening quarter. CJ Flavel on the floor now, as well as Aquinas College teammate Kaimani Komoana. Thompson, 2-man game with Boucher. Sees a little bit of space, has to force it up, and just too long.
Nice penetration there, but once again, that Nuggets defense collapsing. They're really respecting these drives. So once you get 2 feet in the paint as a Phi penetrator, you might want to come to that jump stop and look for your options out there on the perimeter.
Nuggets finding a little more rhythm these last few possessions. moving the ball nicely, a little breakers cut. Daniel Ashcroft in the game now. Turnover, Whai will lead the break. Final position of the quarter, you can imagine. Batchett to Masters. Whai moving well off the ball. 3 ball goes up, no good, and we are dying seconds of the first quarter here.
Well, that's a backcourt. They did not get away with it.
Just when you thought the quarter would end, we actually have seen 3 more positions.
Well, that's a poor job of clock management there by the Nuggets. You have to understand how much time is left on the clock, and you have to understand where you're going with that ball when you're picking it up at half court. Unfortunately for them, this gives the Whai a free look.
Ball in to Jaden Boucher, back to who else? To Tui Lewis on the buzzer. We are going to count it. The Whai go up 2 heading into the first quarter break.
Oh, nice little play there by the Whai. Real good patience there by Jaden Boucher, dropping it right through the legs there. I think he did the old triangle between the legs drop off, which enables you to screen off that defender as well, creating an easy opportunity for Tui Lewis as he inches closer to the all-time rapid league scoring crown.
5 points tonight for Tui Lewis, but put him up to the all-time leading scorer like you alluded to. Scan that QR code, of course. Large pepperoni pizza for $29 in this economy. What a steal.
That is a steal. That looks like that. That's my dinner on the way home. You know, it's a little late, so I'm only going to go for 1. I won't get 2 tonight.
Oh, come on. I'll scan it for you and send it through you as well.
That's nice of you, but it's, I don't want to be greedy. I don't want to be greedy.
Getting old, eh? You can't see whatever you want.
You're not wrong. I don't burn it off like I used to. Size Dribble 25. Snap that QR code right now. Use the code online. That lasts until Tuesday, the 25th of March. Get a pizza every day for prices like that.
Might do it, and of course the deals don't stop. Sky Broadband Fibre starter pack from $50 a month for 12 months. Head to the website or call 09525 5555.
Is my math, is 12 months still a year? It seems like a long time for $50 a month.
That's an awesome math, Casey. Good job.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. I've been counting for most of my life, actually.
Wow, no way.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Blown away.
Well, after that nice set of offense, I wouldn't be surprised if the Whai pick up a little bit of confidence and the momentum to tip off this second quarter here. The Nuggets really pretty lucky to be in this game. A couple of fouls on 3-point shots and fouls to the line. Really mistakes that the Whai can move themselves away from, and they'd have a much bigger lead that they could protect otherwise.
Hope the Nuggets can follow the instructions given at the quarter break as Smiler goes back to Daniel. Still a little bit stagnant. Daniel finds Bardsley. He's going to have to make something work here, and the N1s do not stop.
Well, it's a really nice defensive possession for the most part by the Whai there. Until Matt Bardsley just said, well, shot clock's going down, I'm just going to make a move. Look at this little jab step, freezes Flavel, and opens up his hips so he can get to the middle of the court. Then he finishes at the left after taking the bump. And the Swan Dry Nuggets have tied things back up again and taking the lead.
Whai back the other way, looking to regain their lead at Sky Broadband Rapid League. Surely a frenzy of lead changes as we see yet another of the back cut for Xander Masters.
Nice interior passing there. Masters doing a nice job of moving without the basketball, making himself available and not staying on the perimeter and settling for jump shots.
Puma just a little bit off the mark. Whai now in their patent transition basketball. Masters back to back.
Well, nice job by Flavel to jump that passing lane, and Masters runs with him. Takes off from a bit further out than I think he anticipated, but still able to get the kiss off the glass.
Daniel feeling confident in the one dribble pull up, but another possession goes bigging for the Nuggets.
This pace seems to be favoring the Whai. They look comfortable getting up and down the floor.
Masters, the hot hand over to Bazant. Well defended by Daniel. Finds a gap somehow and just can't get the shooter's touch. Nuggets back the other way. Bardsley, great hands there. Was that CJ Flavel?
Yeah, I think it was
Tatui Lewis doing it on both ends. Flavel no good, but Tatui there racking up the stats.
Marsters, I think, pretty fortunate there. Should have probably put up that initial one. Nice pass by Tatui Lewis, really creating a lot of energy with his play. First from the defensive end, then coming down off penetration, trying to facilitate for others, not just to score. That foul, let's see, it looks, are they saying he's in the shooting motion? Looks like that is what they're saying, so a couple of attempts from the stripe.
Masters the last couple of possessions belonging to him, and he's at the Chemist Warehouse now for 2. Buries that first one.
Shot of Doug Courtney previous to that, coaching the Phi. Decided to try and pick up this win. Move that Phi squad up the ladder.
Just like that, he's subbed out after owning the last 3 possessions.
Tell you what, Xander Marsters has a role to play in the NBL game as well, so don't want to use up all his minutes here. There's a few players out here, Jaden Bazan as well, that you're looking to influence both forms.
Stuck there is Martin, gets it back to Bardsley, who will take the offensive load on his shoulders, and a foul call against the Phi. A little bit of a saving grace there for the Nuggets.
Yeah, Phi for the most part doing a nice job of closing out and keeping those offensive players in front. Bardsley really the lone penetrator. He's doing a nice job of bending that defense, creating some opportunities, and that kick out, forced that long closeout for Jaden Boucher that ended up being a block.
Smiler has Bazant, rejects the handoff, is trying to find a lane to Tui Lewis, applying a lot of pressure, but another foul for the Phi.
Well, late whistle on that one, and I think that was more than likely going to get let go, but when you have that contact and you force loss of possession, you force the official to make a call. That calls foul, and now we're off to the Chemist Warehouse stripe with over 1:51 to go in the quarter. So they're saying that was in the shooting motion. Is that foul number 3? I can't tell. Either way, we're at the free throw line.
It's gotta be a bonus. Good on the first, and buries the second. Very timely free throws there for Smiler.
Well, keeping pace with the Phi. Nuggets' offense has not been pretty, but they've been able to create some opportunities at that Chemist Warehouse stripe.
Bazant now, the slippery eel himself, stealing the nickname from Bardsley even with that and 1.
I don't know, different pace for Jake Bazan. I think an eel's too quick for him because he plays at a slow pace until he explodes, much like that when you think you're in front of him as a defender. And suddenly he's just worked his way around for the left. Right here we see a drive, good position, good position. Actually, it's an N1 finish.
Rusk somehow ending up on the floor.
And he's trying to slide over, get that hip in front. And old Jaden Bazan just pulled the chair out from under him.
Time. Sal's NBL career now for Bazan. Commonwealth appearance in there, 3-on-3 Tall Blacks as well.
3x3 was a game he really excelled at for a bit. Had some nice opportunities created. Spent a season with the Breakers on the wider practice squad, training for them. He's definitely seen a bit of basketball, quite a bit of training time in his young career. Still seems like a young fellow to me, though.
Absolutely, I was very surprised to find out he was 29 years old, so massive compliment to him. Gaining just pushed off his line, toying with that halfway line, the Nuggets. Over to Martin, is going to try to make something work. Ends up in the split.
Oh, a little wet spot there. That was dangerous. Hopefully he ends up okay.
Tui Lewis is on a mission tonight.
1 basket short. The all-time total.
They're going to have like a celebration plan?
Probably not.
They don't have like an elusive, like the confetti's going to fall.
I mean, a prestigious record it is, but it is the second year of the league. So yeah, it's not like a one that goes back to the annals of history.
We'll give them a few years and then maybe we can get some confetti.
When you're 5 years deep. I'm trying to think of what the right number for the Rapid League all-time scoring is, because if you're playing in the league for like 12 years, it's probably not a great thing either.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
So I think we're gonna see some tops open. It's interesting that Tui Lewis is on the verge of taking that.
Will we see it tonight? Still got a half of basketball to play.
Well, I think we'll see it the next time he touches the ball.
Thompson.
Right here.
The boys know it. Can he get the record? Oh, just short. Great look generated by the Phi, though. Wide open three.
Penetration. Every time the Phi get deep and kick that ball out, they're getting really quality looks.
Nuggets still searching for that rhythm of quality looks. Bardsley just intercepted by Thompson right in the passing lane.
I'll tell you what, those jerseys are tough to miss, too. You got to see those players wearing the two shades.
Very creative teams have been with their Rapid League uniform designs. Tui Lewis turning it over. So the Nuggets now with pace. And Boomer rejects over to Bardsley, who just decides to step back and throw it up, but no luck on the buzzer there. The Phi lead 21-14 heading into halftime here in Rotorua, Vegas.
The Phi really took control of the pace of the game that quarter, maintaining their scoring level and holding the Nuggets to just 5 points overall after letting them score 9 in the second. It was really a function of their defense out there, forcing those perimeter players to go sideways instead of direct penetration at the basket, and really doing a nice job of challenging shots as well. It looks like we might have a tick of a second left on the clock here because the teams have not gone back. And is this a foul on the rebound? Yeah, it looks like it was a foul on the loose ball there. And then a player timeout.
BNZ player timeout.
So we missed that one. Didn't see the player timeout. Thought that was quarter, but here was the last play here.
Tui Lewis on an offensive foul. Just to top things off.
Well, that's an offensive foul. Is that player control? I mean, the ball's out of bounds. So they are in the bonus, but because it's player control foul, they won't be shooting free throws on this one.
And will we see the Nuggets?
Trying to use a player timeout here for the Nuggets so they can get down on the other side of the court.
Feel as though this might be the conversation.
So they're trying to find out how much time is left, maybe? Haven't actually seen somebody call a player timeout.
You definitely expect Bardsley is tuned in.
See the conversation. See, here comes a player timeout once he catches the ball.
The rule being on you can do it when you touch the ball.
You got to have the ball in hand. There it is.
Shocker. BNZ player timeout.
Here it comes. Saw that one coming, and of course, this is your chance to scan that QR code for a chance to win tickets to seasons games all year long in South NZNBL 2025.
BNZ, of course, supporting the next generation of Kiwi basketballers. The atmosphere in South NZNBL game just unreal. Great to have it everywhere around the country this year. Heading to Rotorua.
Up and down. Aotearoa's coming out. Let's see how much time the Nuggets have left to get this one off.
Liam Boomer is going to be the choice and just falls short on that one. So finally, we will actually head into halftime. The Phi still leading 21-14. The Nuggets just really struggling to find their offensive rhythm so far, Casey.
They just have not been able to influence that side of the court very well. Got down early, made a couple of inroads about halfway through the first quarter, but since then it's been all Tauranga. The Nuggets right now shooting just 22% from inside the arc. Overall, 40% from outside the arc. Or sorry, 0 for 4 from outside the arc, 22% overall, 2 for 5 from inside. So the 10 for 12 from the free throw line is what's really saved them as we take a look at the leaders. DeZant, Ashcroft up there, 2 rebounds apiece for Lewis and Martin as well. Just assists on one side of the ledger because the Nuggets only score at the free throw line. So no assists in that one. Jaden Boucher leading the way with 4. The defensive excellence of the Phi on display as well because of what Thompson, Boucher, and Flau have been able to steal in ball, but that's been matched by the Nuggets team. But overall, this is a game about shot quality. The shot quality for the Nuggets has been pretty low right now, hence that 20% overall field goal percentage, while the Tauranga Whai shooting 8 for 13 from the field at 61%. At the same time, nearly doubling up the rebounds of the Nuggets, 9-5 advantage to the Phi, and that's the possession game. That's why they're in the lead.
Stats, of course, brought to you by Chemist Warehouse. You mentioned as well, Casey, the Phi doing a really good job at getting 2 feet in the paint, generating high-quality offensive looks out of that. Certainly something that Matt Lacey has been coaching the last couple of years that he's been in Tauranga.
Well, they're certainly a team that believes in the analytics side of the game. Last year, they shot more threes than anybody else, and they took great care of the basketball, and that's a style that they're trying to emulate as well. Looks like Coach Mike Kelly's out there doing a little bit of coaching. I don't know, that's a big no-no in Rapid League.
Casey Frank cannot believe it, the shock on his face.
They're letting these guys know you got to rotate that ball, play with a little bit of speed. But to me, it is about the aggressiveness they have on the offensive end. Right now, they're sort of just running plays to run plays. You have to run plays for scores. You know, wherever you're cutting through, it has to be a live cut that's forcing that defense to guard you. If you're just cutting to try and move things around against a team as aggressive defensively as the Phi, it's not going to do much good for you.
Bazant to open the quarter for the Phi. It's Tui Lewis, just a bucket away from the all-time record. Jed Thompson playing off 2 and the best way you can, but just can't get the shooter's touch. Oh, fortuitously falls back, and there goes to Tui Lewis, getting the record in fashion.
Oh, poor Matt Bardsley. Can't control the rebound. The possession was over, and then he commits a cardinal sin, saves it under his own basket. Jed Thompson setting up to Tui Lewis to become the all-time leading scorer in the Rapid League with that bucket right there and the foul. Matt Bardsley doesn't feel great about things. The turnover and the N1.
Very emotive, Matt Bardsley in the bottom of your screens as the Phi go up double digits for the first time today. Still a lot of basketball to be played, and the history of Rapid League, man, things can change in the blink of an eye.
It's a quick game in more ways than one, not just the seconds on the clock, but the speed with which you can surmount a comeback.
Nuggets again, nowhere to go. Bardsley to Martin, who's just off the mark there, 0 from 5 from the 3 for the Nuggets. Thompson back to Bazant, moving the ball well, the Phi.
Good pace.
Yeah, moving themselves well. Bazant to the corner, just read like a book from Smiler. An offensive foul called.
Well, that's actually probably pretty fortunate for the Phi. That could have been a fast break opportunity. They had numbers going the other way, so Bazant aggressive to the hole, thought he could get away with that dish, and not only does he get the turnover, he also gets the offensive foul.
Smiler running the point here out of Waikato. Last couple of years at the Nuggets. Bardsley leading the pack here. Been relatively quiet, only 3 shot attempts for Bardsley. Back in the hands of Smiler, who has to make something work, but ultimately a turnover.
Just the Phi doing a nice job of rotating. They're never leaving those penetrators alone. The help's always coming and making things difficult.
Masters steps back, opts not to shoot it. Jed Thompson playing a bit of the 4. Masters can't connect.
This Phi team's based on speed, not size.
Clearly.
There are point guards everywhere.
Clearly not a bad thing as they lead by 10. Nuggets not making any inroads at the moment.
But the Nuggets have to try and find a way to influence things on the interior if they are playing against this team, and that's a great way to do it. But look at that block there by Jaden Bazant.
Bazant, the unexpected slide over from help and get to the hands on that just when the Nuggets got a decent look in the paint. The Phi are there to stop it.
Part-time PG, full-time shot blocker.
Okay, got 1 block. Let's just take a deep breath, Casey.
It's a full-time job now. You get, well, look at that, hands up. He's looking like Wemby out there.
Jaden Wembanyama.
Oh, Jaden Boucher, I believe gets called for that one. Looked like he got that ball from behind. He's arguing that it was pretty clean, but it matters not. The Nuggets back to the Chemist Warehouse stripe where they've been there so often they might get better discounts.
Might get some something for free.
Might do.
Tonight's game.
Is it a buy 12, get one free at the Chemist Warehouse stripe today?
Well, they're up to 11 after that Bardsley make. He is 1 from 4 from the field as he buries that second one with class.
And all that said and done, the Nuggets aren't that far away. I believe that bucket went to the wrong side of the scoring ledger there.
24-16.
There we go. They've sussed it out.
As they always do, of course. Kaimani Komoana out of Aquinas College. Jaden Boucher backs in the 3. Rotorua open late.
Does he get a little smile on his face? He accepts he'll take the points, but he's not bragging about them.
3 points to 3 points as the Nuggets, another great look, but just can't top it off.
But creating some offense now, penetrating the defense with the pass. Doesn't have to be with the dribble, but you have to get into the paint.
And just a little bit long there for the all-time scoring leader, Tui Lewis. Over to Ashcroft, great pass from Bardsley. Just a little bit of glad wrap on the rim for the Nuggets.
Better pace though for the Nuggets these last few possessions, creating better opportunities. If they can keep stringing the shots together, they might be able to claw their way back into it.
And also no Max Stoddard tonight as Tui Lewis drops Liam Boomer. Great defensive position there for the Nuggets, well needed.
Tui Lewis is a big guy, but I think Boomer might have sold that one just a bit. But he felt the shoulder in the chest, does a nice job of sliding the feet, so he's in good defensive position. And that little bump, if he's able to do that without that forceful sort of nudge, he might get away with it, but well sold by Boomer. Good call by the officials.
Always impressive to see a forward take that kind of charge on a guard. There's another turnover for the Nuggets. Jaden Boucher off to the races, and we see a foul in transition. Probably a smart one from the Nuggets.
Tui Lewis was going to give us a little bit of showtime.
He can get up.
Be bouncy. Doesn't often get that fast break opportunity. Tui Lewis is one of my favorite guys in the league to watch, just like away from the basketball. If you just want, he's just got that twitchiness about him, almost like a Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf Tourette syndrome type guy. A lot of activity.
I have no idea what
times.
you just said.
Do you know who Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf is? Oh my. He's originally went by the name Chris Jackson, but was an NBA player in the 90s. He had Tourette syndrome.
No way.
Yeah, and so he would do some interesting things at the free throw line, for instance.
Huh.
Or he was a guy who would have to shoot 100 free throws without hitting the rim before he could leave the gym. Pretty good player. Look up some highlights. Denver Nuggets.
There you guys go. Little YouTube search on the way. Jaden Boucher bearing those refs, deeming that one an unsportsmanlike foul or a clear path, maybe. So far will regain possession as well as those 2 shots from the Chemist Warehouse stripe. Jed Thompson opts not to take the 3. And Xander Masters over to Tui Lewis, and just read like a book for Smiler. A chance in transition now. No one there fortuitously. Rusk can't get it to go. Another possession for the Nuggets.
I would have liked to have seen Smiley take that shot at the rim instead of go for 3. But it may work out for the Nuggets eventually.
Daniel putting in the shift on the offensive rebounds and gets the foul. Surprise, surprise, we're off to the Chemist Warehouse.
Thank Lord that the foul was called there, because he had a 2-foot shot that went like 6 inches. It was the power blowout. I was wondering what was happening. And it turns out it was a little bit of a hack, and the Nuggets hit 2 here, and they're still only 10 points down.
12 out of the 16 points tonight for the Nuggets from that Chemist Warehouse. Great to see they're doing a good job of drawing fouls. As Daniel buries that one.
Basketball doesn't always have to be pretty, but you have to find a way to manufacture points. And right now the Nuggets are doing enough of that so they can stay within touch distance of the 5, but they need to start getting something a little bit more consistent away from the Chemist Warehouse stripe.
Dying seconds of quarter 3 here, Sky Broadband Rapid League. As the Tui Lewis buries it from beyond the arc. What a game he's having.
Just too easy. He's such a talented player. Big shot there to finish the quarter and put the Phi out comfortably here. Nice delivery by Jaden Boucher. Is just going with all the razzle-dazzle passes today. Between the legs earlier, a little behind the back action.
Looking a little bit like his father in the old days, as the Phi lead 31-17 here in Rotorua. The first game since 2011 in Rotorua. Of course, Sal's NBL action coming up at 7 p.m. tonight. The Nuggets looking for their first NBL win tonight, Casey.
Yeah, they've got a much higher quality team to do it with a couple of imports welcomed into the fold. So it's certainly the talent injection that it looked like they needed after that game against the Southland Sharks, where the effort was there, but the ability to get the score going their way wasn't. If you want to watch that on Sky broadband, you can do it for the fiber for only $50 for the first 12 months. It comes through really fast when you're watching it on fiber broadband.
Casey Frank, the king of segues.
That one was pretty poor, but it worked it off somehow.
And of course, 12 months by Casey Frank's calculation is a year. Head to Sky Broadband website to get your hands on that one. Final quarter approaching here. Sky Broadband Rapid League. Love the uniforms for the Phi, by the way. We haven't touched on that yet.
I've liked the uniforms all across the Rapid League this year. I'm a big fan of these Otago Nuggets one with the swans right top tight.
Yeah.
It's you don't see it from this far away if you're not really paying attention, but up close and personal, those things are tight. Well, I'm a big fan of the Phi. I quite like the lavender for the Franklin Bulls.
Yeah, that's nice. Lavender's always good.
The palmy camo for the Manawatu Jets.
Look like a bunch of floating heads.
You can't see them at all.
Martin, the tough and one. Exactly what the Nuggets needed coming out of that break.
Back to the Chemist Warehouse stripe.
Shocking.
No, well, they're doing a nice job of finding contact, forcing the officiating crew to make the call. And the Phi are an aggressive defensive team. They don't give up on possessions. So when you get in there, you have to know you're going to take that hit. This time, able to take the hit and get the finish. The three-point play cuts it back to 11.
7 for 7 from the stripe tonight for Martin. He's been a little bit quiet since his hot start. Good to see him back in the mix. Voucher to Thompson, Phi, just moving the ball in themselves so well tonight. Back to Thompson. A little bit of a messy position here. Shot clock winding down. It's going to be Bazant. Gets himself to the cup and a nice finish off the glass.
It just shows great patience with the shot clock running down. He's a guy that I really like to see the ball in the hands of when the time's running out, because he doesn't get flustered. You know, some players would shoot up that jumper with 17, but he gets all the way to the cup because he understands how much time it's going to take to get there.
Smiler chooses not to get to the rim, and no threes made tonight for the Nuggets.
The stroke has abandoned them. Somebody might have left their jumper in the overhead compartment of the plane.
Kaimani Komawana can't get it to work, but Masters somehow ends up with it, and the Phi a 15-point lead.
Nice little hustle underneath the rim, and the Phi not turning off the petrol just yet. They're staying up. Full court press from Jaden Bazant.
Nice dime inside. Liam Boomer touches every part of the rim. A field goal.
The layups have been just bouncing on him lately. That one somehow finds the rim. That looks like a hard rim here in Rotorua, though. Not a lot of friendly rolls on that bad boy tonight.
Haven't been used in a while, Casey.
They've been up there in cold storage outside of Maori Nationals, probably.
Martin stops, and all the field goals raining now for the Nuggets.
And now he's got his iron, feeling pretty good. The clock may be their enemy, but stranger things have happened than 10 points in 2 minutes.
Look, I've seen a 10-point comeback in 2 minutes in Rapid League many a times. Not if Masters is shooting from the corner. Just as I say, it just rims out the Nuggets now. Last 2 field goals have been makes. Rusk has a look at it now. Just short off the rim. They needed that one.
I was feeling a little froggy on that one. I thought somebody might jump, but didn't quite get into it.
Bazant, cool, calm, collected with the bucket.
Right back to the cup, kind of just at will. He's taking it kind of easy until his teammates really need him to do something scoring-wise. And that's when he gets himself involved. To 7 points for him now.
Phi in transition. Martin trying to get a steal, but gives up the foul. You just feel like it's been all Phi in the Sky Broadband Rapid League tonight.
Yeah, they just a bit better execution-wise, better speed. Players like Jaden Bazan able to penetrate the defense. I think that's the biggest difference between these two teams. The Phi as a squad, you know, playing with that shorter lineup. Jaden Bazant quite often playing center. Jet Thompson occasionally playing center. That speed at every position opened up some of those penetration lanes, and because they're all perimeter-based players, got the ability to shoot on that kick out as well. And that was really tough, especially offensively for the Nuggets to crack that speed, that lateral speed, trying to get penetration.
Whai really embodying the positionless basketball that New Zealand has shifted to over the past few years. Kai Mani goes 2 from 2 from Chemist Warehouse stripe.
They're getting their own taste there, are the Tauranga Whai now.
Only 5 from 8 tonight for them, but they've obviously scored in many ways. Xander Masters leading the way in that category, 13 points as Smiler again to the Chemist Warehouse.
Well, just that kind of night for the Nuggets, though. That's a little bunny there. It's one where you take that hit and just kiss that one in off the glass for the three-point play. But the shots that look easy have not been presenting themselves that way up to this point for the Otago Nuggets.
Can be hard when you're shifting guys in and out of the starting lineup as well. Josh Aitchison, many reps with Rapid League last year. I believe he might be the 3rd all-time scorer. So
All-Star 5 last season as well for the Rapid League.
Exactly right. Bit of a change for the Nuggets offense in that sense, as the nice roll there. Nuggets down 13.
Good news for the rest of the Nuggets players in the Rapid League is a lot more shots to go around because Josh is getting them up.
Especially for the Chemist Warehouse drive, a lot of shots going up for the Nuggets. Masters the leading scorer of tonight. Can he get 16 on the board? He cannot. Bardsley securing that one with strength. And there he is down the other end, doubled by the Whai. Rusk sees a little bit of space and doesn't like it. The Nuggets now 1 from 13 from beyond the arc.
Fortunately, the perimeter has evaded them today.
CJ Flavel, the classic travel out of the corner.
I often see the little step back out of bounds. Flavel, unfortunately, there. Can't add to the ledger on his night. Nuggets quickly in counterattack. Well, maybe not so quick.
Rusk, maybe his first time in the paint tonight. It's just been the struggle street for the Nuggets.
Look at that backboard, man. That thing is like trying to shoot on concrete. That is not a friendly roll coming in there. You have to get that at the exact right angle. Some rims are a little bit friendlier. Hopefully, when you go your ticket to the big game, you can get a friendly looking basket and see those ones pop in. But chance to scan that QR code, chance to win tickets to this season games, get your school group, community group, church group, whatever group you got going out there, you scan that QR code, see if you can't score some free tickets.
Get in there, can't miss a Sal's NBL game here in 2025. But lots to come. A lot of games being played as the Whai look to round this thing out. They lead by 13, being all the boys in pink and blue tonight. Tui Lewis being crowned the Rapid League King. Masters just off the mark in that one, and to no surprise in Rotorua for the first time since 2011, the Whai dominate the Nuggets 39-26.
Oh, huge score there for the Whai in this evening's basketball game. Just a nice combination of execution on both sides of the court as the Whai take this one tonight.
Sal's NBL action coming up at 7 p.m. The Whai 1-1. Take a quick look there. Cruz, Piero, Hunt, Carter, Morboy, and Sean Bairstow, all in the mix. And the Nuggets looking for their first win. Don't go anywhere here on Sky Sport.
Rotorua, keep up. For our fans, keep up. Okay, what I would like to say always a fat shout out going out to our sponsors. Thank you very much going out to the Northern Group. Foot Mechanic Podiatrist, I'm here to Wilder, Whitehall Fuel, Pacific Toyota, Bay Venues, Pack and Save, Go Media, Rockets Park, Body in Motion, Tauranga Girls College, Almighty Drinks, Max Soda, Alchemy and Tonic. We appreciate all the sponsorship. You guys are the bomb, because without you, this would not happen. Thank you very much, Your Honor. Well, the points are up, let's go. Introducing the NBL visiting team, the the Nuggets, all the way from Otago, down in Dunedin. Okay, Fano, please can you put your hands together for number 10, Caleb Smiler, number 6, Mike Rufa-Russ, number 14, Daniel Ashcroft, number 21, Christian Martin, and number 7, Matthew Bartley, number 22, Liam Boomer, and the starting 5 for the Nuggets. Make some noise for number 9, Darcy Knox, number 11, Don Carey Jr., number 5, Josie Perez, number 13, Josh Atchison, number 33, Todd Withers, and the head coach is Mike Kelly, and the assistant coach is Levi Khan. Please make some noise for the visiting team, the Nuggets. And please, if you can put your hands together and make some noise for your fine players. Please put your hands together for number 66, Jaden Bazan, number 4, Jake Thompson, number 13, Tituki Lewis, number 8,
No mai, haere mai, welcome in here round 2, 2025 Sal's NBL Basketball Man March, surely living up to its name, and it's not stopping anytime soon. The FI hosting the Otago Nuggets here in Rotorua, the first time since 2011. Maya Williamson here alongside the king of the commentary booth, Casey Frank. Casey, hello, welcome in.
Thanks for having me. Let's go to some basketball and talk about it.
Woohoo, mix and pick, scan, get in. The FI are the favourites.
Yeah, that looks about right. I don't know, 10 plus. I don't think that's gonna happen today. The Nuggets import talent coming in is gonna make that a little bit closer.
Take a look at the standings now for the Sal's NBL, been a blockbuster so far. The Sharks looking to rewrite history and topping the table at the moment. The Hawks with a blinder of a start, great upset win over the Jets the other night. The Bulls looking on form as well, and as you can see, the FI splitting their games thus far. The Nuggets, though, dropping that one to Southland on Friday evening.
Yeah, the offense just not clicking for them. The hope is that the import talent injected in the team will change things. As you take a look at the 5 teams in the competition, yet to pull a victory.
Upcoming games, of course, tomorrow night, the Giants take on the Saints. Saints probably still recovering from their double OT game against the Airs, the Panthers and the Bulls. Panthers looking to get their first Sal's NBL win. The Hawks and the Nuggets, quick bounce back for the Nugs, and then, yep, keep going.
Rappity rap.
Starting 5 for the Nuggets. The trio of imports here, Carey Jr., Perez, and obviously supported by Atchison and Knox. Interview Todd Withers, blah, blah, blah. Go to Todd.
Todd Withers, welcome back to New Zealand.
Thank you for having me, man.
I know you've been here before.
Yeah.
And for the FI, the Hawks, Jones, Pero Hunt, Biesto, Zana, and the 18-year-old starting 5, Hawkboy. We'll chat to him.
I hope I from FI Basketball. Your last year of development has been huge.
Great to see the development of Kara Hawkboy over the last year, and of course our Kim's Warehouse head-to-head.
Not a lot of scoring going on. Key clash, Hopewell and Withers. That is 2 opposite ages of the spectrum. Opposite spectrum to
Spectrum?
Yeah, we'll go that way.
Great to see Withers back in the mix. Things tipping off soon here in Roto Vegas. Don't go anywhere. A blinder matchup tonight. Both teams at full strength. Our match officials, Ryan Jones, Mikey Graham, and Sam McFadden. Is this right?
This is not who's on the thing. We have Ryan Jones, Sam Pan, and Bryn Watson.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Just make sure we've got those changes with the refs. Yep.
Okay, fans, we still got this under 13 more minutes left to go. Shout out to you, teaching everyone.
They gave him another chance. Oh my God.
Okay, can we just get a show of a sound? If you're from Rotorua, make some noise! Love it, love it. Once again, let's try it from the left to the right. If you're from Rotorua, make some noise! Is anyone from Hamilton here? Anyone from Hamilton? No? Is there anyone here from Tauranga? Nice to see you guys, nice to see you. Is there anyone here from Wellington? I'm from Wellington, I thought I represent for the Wellingtonians. Okay, is anyone from Auckland? Oh yeah, a couple of people from Auckland. The main thing is, and there should be some more, are there any more Otago supporters here tonight? Otago supporters, can you please make some noise? Put your hands up, put your hands up, put your hands up. So all these guys there and a couple of whānau over there. Okay, if you're not supporting Otago, can we please make some noise for Otago? Please put your hands together for Otago! Like it, I like it, I like it. Okay, whānau, so if you were here to support the fight, make some noise! Okay, so whānau, I've got some more stuff to give away. That last stuff was under 10. We're gonna go, hold up. We got some bouncy people here. Tauranga. Nice. Okay, hold up. Hey. Thank you, appreciate you. You just have to say, that's enough noise. But whānau, I will be giving away, so can I just get one for all the sort of over 20s that are men? I'm going to get a dance competition for the over 20s and the men, then an over 20s competition for the women. So, if you're going to enter into the competition, please stretch. We don't want to see you pull something just when you're getting up to do your best move, and then you go, and then you catch, and you need a massage tonight. So whānau, if you came to support basketball, and you love basketball, make some noise!
No mai, haru mai, welcome in round 2 of Sal's NBL action for 2025. It's Mad March and it's sure living up to its name. The Tauranga Whai hosting the Otago Nuggets here in Rotorua. Mad March, surely we had a good game. Sky Broadband Rapid League just moments ago. Maya Williamson here alongside the long-standing king of the commentary booth, Casey Frank. Casey, welcome in.
Fantastic to be here as we bring basketball at the NBL level back to Rotorua for the first time in a fair few years, Maya.
14 years since we last saw them. Make sure you scan the QR code and get involved in the fun, the mix, and pick the Whai, the heavy favourites, even after that ugly loss to the Bulls on Monday night. Can I call it that?
It wasn't the prettiest of games, but they did a nice job fighting things back into it, and I think they're the favorites based on their defensive prowess. The Nuggets struggled to score. The Whai, a solid defensive team.
The Whai, of course, splitting their games after upsetting the Canterbury Rams on opening night, and the Nuggets losing their Southland derby on Friday evening. As we take a look at the standings for the Sal's NBL thus far, you can see there the Whai 1-1. The Nuggets on the next page, searching for their first win of 2025 at Sal's NBL.
Yeah, one of 5 teams that have yet to get a victory in the NBL this season. And Taranaki, the last team to pull a loss just last night, couldn't get over the Jets.
Upcoming games, of course, the Giants taking on the Saints tomorrow night. Good that the Saints have been given good time to recover from that OT game, double OT I should say.
And home opener for the Indian Panthers against the Franklin Bulls. The Battle of South Auckland happening Friday night at Pullman Arena.
The Nuggets will have a quick turnaround playing the Hawks on Friday, and then a South Island battle, the Rams and the Sharks at the trusty Cows Stadium. Lots to look forward to tonight. And at Sal's NBL, it's round 2. And it's been great so far. The Nuggets starting 5, you've got the imports, the trusty imports of Darcy Knox and Aitchison. And finally, the trio of imports have arrived. Carey Jr. and Perez for the Nuggets. And with a little bit of an injury replacement, Todd Withers heading to NBL 1 soon. We caught up with him earlier today.
Todd Withers, welcome back to New Zealand.
Thank you for having me, man.
I know you've been here before.
Yeah.
New team, new coach. I know it's not the start you guys wanted last week, but what's the impact you're going to bring to tonight's game tonight?
Hoping to just bring some energy. Try to bring. I'm a bit of a vet now, so try to bring a bit of leadership and stuff like that to the team. We have really good core group, and then we got 2 other guys who are imports who are just as good. So hopefully I can just bring as much energy as possible and get us going.
With you guys are on the road for the next 2 games. How do you guys think you're going to go against a determined Whai team tonight?
I feel like it's going to take one stop at a time. They're a really, really, really talented team. They got 2 games under their belt already, so they'll probably be a bit more fresh than we are. So just taking it stop after stop, and then going down and trying to score, and then just playing together. I think we can come in and get it done.
Thank you, Todd.
Great to have Todd Withers back in Aotearoa.
Fantastic defensive player. Was really the key in my mind to the Nuggets being able to take that victory in the Final 6 a couple of years ago up in Auckland when they won the title.
And the Whai also have a triad of imports here. Jones, Biesto and Zana. Of course, Cruz Pero Hunt with his career high on opening night. And 18-year-old Carter Hawpoi has taken the league by storm. Byron Vaitoe caught up with him moments ago.
Carter Hawpoi from Whai Basketball. Your last year of development has been huge, not only with the Tall Blacks, but now a bigger role in the Whai rotation. Is there anything you would like to improve on as one of the young rising stars in the NBL?
I think I've been playing good recently. Just keep my aggressiveness. Good things happen when I stay aggressive.
You have a quick turnaround in tonight's game. What do you have to do as a team as far as improvements from your last game against the Nuggets?
I think the obvious one is just getting the shot. Getting our 3-point shot in. I don't think that'll be a problem. And we've been going through training, working on how to get open. Yeah.
Awesome. Keep up the good work, Carter. Good luck.
Carter Hawpoi, the 18-year-old there, right on cue. Very impressed with his opening games here in the Sal's NBL.
He's bouncy, and was really the only option in game 1 for the Whai on the interior. And he's going to have a big role to play for them all season long as we take a look at the Chemist Warehouse head-to-head stats. Neither team shooting very well from the field. That results in that low 70s per game average. Hopo and Withers, two athletes who can affect things on the defensive end of the floor. And see those team turnovers. Too high for the Phi. They did a much better job a season ago of protecting the basketball. And the Nuggets have to know they don't have that offensive firepower, so they have to take care of it as well. The team that can win that battle may have that first step towards victory.
Both teams, of course, averaging a low amount of points is the best way to really say it. Nuggets with only 70 points in their opening match against Southland, and only 61 points for the Phi on a Monday night. Make sure you join the fun, scan the QR code, and vote for who you think is going to win tonight's matchup. The Phi still the heavy favourites.
Yeah, it's going to be a good question as we see these two teams sort of come together. And I guess looking into this game, my question for the Phi is, how can they get their imports a little bit more assimilated into the offense? Sean Bairstow has been yet to fire. Talib Zana didn't quite get things going on the interior, and he's going to have to carry a heavy load for this Phi team to be battling on the interior. Can't all be on Carter Hopoi's shoulders. Conversely, when you look at that Nugget squad, to me it's more about the depth. Perez and Withers and now as well Carey Jr. have come into the fold. We'll see how good they are, but I'd like to see the locals step up a little bit more. They've got that veteran core of guys with Aitchison, Darcy Knox, Bardsley off the bench. I'd like to see them take a little bit on their shoulders, be a little bit more aggressive into getting points and not just rely on the imports to try and get that done. So we'll see which one of these teams can lift that offensive production just a bit today. And of course, it's not really a home game as we take a look at the match officials, Ryan Jones, Sam Pan, and Bryn Watson, to today's officials. But the question is, on the road, are the Phi going to have any sort of local support? Will it really be a road game, home game for them? Or the Nuggets going to be able to come up here and have no fear because it's not really a cauldron. The fan base hasn't really been set up for the Phi yet here in Rotorua.
Yeah, well, on that case we spoke about and saw in Skyboard Rapid League just how tough these rims and the backboards actually are. How do you think that affects a team like the Phi when it's supposed to be a home game? But, I mean, this gym hasn't been used for NBL in 14 years.
Well, just like everything else on the planet, success is a habit. The more you do something, the better you get at it. You know, success on your home court is a habit. You wake up at the same time, you eat your meal in the same place, you have shoot around at the same time, and you understand where the ball bounces on that home rim. And when you have to go on the road to it, you're giving up a little bit. You know, even if it is a good opportunity to get the team around an area that they represent, it still does make things a little bit more difficult. Takes away that small advantage you have, not having to travel like the road team normally does. And we'll see if it works to the advantage of the home team Phi tonight.
You can trust the word of Casey Frank, who's done this many a times. There he is, Todd Withers, 2 electric seasons with the Nuggets, 2022 and 2023, has recently been with the Perth Wildcats. Great to have him back in Aotearoa, even for a short while. Phi making their way out onto the floor. Carey Jr. also making his NBL debut, his first time playing outside of the United States.
Always exciting to start the life of the import.
Got a little man here in full camo, looking like how Casey Frank walked in today.
Yeah, that's how you know you're in Rotorua. He tosses out with the Phi wave as well. The mono wave, getting it going.
Teach him
Love
young.
to see it, love to see it.
And of course, your Chemist Warehouse head-to-head matchup for tonight, Hawkboy and Withers. Bit of an age difference there, Casey.
Let's see who's athlete though. They're both still pretty springy.
We are underway. Sal's NBL 2025 action started off not really with a bang, but Phi with the first possession.
Let's see how aggressive they are offensively. Are they going to settle for threes or attack the paint? Turnover early, nearly, but averted.
Talib Zana, opening possession of the game, called for a travel, just shifted his feet. Surprisingly, Darcy Knox getting it done in the paint.
Did not see the travel there, but being watched very closely on that first possession. And when that gets called on you, the one thing you say, make sure you watch the opponent's feet, because I'm pretty sure everybody shifts that much.
Jose Perez, not the sole import for the Nuggets anymore. Todd Withers, takes that short corner. Biesto holding his ground, little spin, and of course, the nasty Rotorua backboards.
Well, Withers is such a talented offensive player. Really likes the perimeter shot, but when he goes on down into the post, he's got a lot of length and athleticism that can serve him well.
Biesto still need to find his rhythm in NZNBL as Jones to Zana, just too long on that one. Withers already disrupting defensively.
Todd Withers, I think he was trying to get a replay there. No replays here though. And, tipped off. I thought it might have gone off Zana myself, but it's going to stay with the FI. 3.3 seconds left on the shot clock now. Gonna have to get something quick.
Almost a minute of scoreless basketball here in Rotorua. And I believe the football should reset to 14. So first position for the FI.
That's very helpful because quick offense is not what they've put on display so far.
Chris Jones toying with Kerry Jr. and bunnies it from the mid-range.
It was pure as a driven snow. Nothing but net, and then forces the turnover as Perez and Kerry Jr. don't yet have that communication link. There's the shot, splash, release, rotation. It looks pretty.
Replays brought to you by GJ Gardner-Holmes. Ball into Zana. The FI moving themselves in the ball. Offensive foul called against Zana. We know the referees are hunting those out.
There's some tight whistles here at the beginning of this game, and Zana has been the recipient of a couple of them. Take another look at it. And he gets that shoulder out. And you got to keep that tight when you're going, and you also have to give that big a chance to settle. That's as much on the ball handler Bairstow as it is on the screener Zana there.
Horns action for the Nuggets as Kerry Jr. pulls over the longer Hawk boy. FI now back the other way. Chris Jones directing traffic. Can't find Cruz. Piero Hunt can eventually. Shot clock winding down. Chris Jones stops on a dime, just too short. Bit of an empty position there for the FI.
Oh, we're fortunate to keep possession with the Nuggets after that got knocked around. But I like what I'm seeing defensively from the Nuggets here early in this one. Looking more active than they did against Southland. Contesting more, a little bit harder out there on the perimeter. Not sitting down and packing in quite as much as we saw in their home opener.
Nuggets take advantage of the open lane, and Jose Perez will open the scoring for the Nuggets.
Jose Perez has that little double pump. Doesn't get a lot of air when he's up there vertically, but enough to get the finish on that one.
16 points against the Southland in their home opener. Cruz, Piero Hunt, everything but the make.
And that's the kind of shot that you see drop on your home rim. I think these ones are a little tight. You have to hit it pure, much like that Chris Jones original jump shot to start the game.
Perez likes this mismatch. Chris Jones holding his own. Oh, and the hoop and a harm for Perez.
Well, unfortunate, I think, for Chris Jones there. He just mistimed when he was going to go in with that forearm. And Perez trying to use his hefty frame to try and push Jones down. You see that forearm goes in. If that's just dribbling and he's just coming into the paint, that's not a foul then. But once he gets in the shooting motion, you get contact on a shooter with a forearm, it's an easy call.
But he's defying gravity with that make as well, and then buries it from the Chemist Warehouse stripe. The Nuggets owing a lot of rent tonight from that stripe. Shooting 19 free throws in the Sky Broadband Rapid League. And another moving screen. Zana will take a seat.
Zana, welcome to New Zealand. Gonna have to change that screening motion.
See that on the GJ Gardner-Holmes
well, he just
replay.
Needs to stay solid. You know, he leans in that shoulder without getting that contact. If the defender has gotten around your cylinder already, you can't move like that. That's right in front of the official is going to be an easy one for them to whistle.
3 minutes, 2 fouls. What the FI looking for? Don Kerry Jr. likes this matchup with Boucher, but turnover, FI will go the other way. And oh boy, gets up for the slam.
Well, Darcy Knox made a professional decision there, hustled all the way back and said, stay down here. Oh boy with the highlight.
And a great answer from Kerry Jr. The Nuggets up 3.
What's happened to the offense all of a sudden? We got a little bit of pace out there in transition, quick shots leading to quick outlets, a little bit of speed, and the Nuggets come back again.
But he's just off on that one shot, 31% from the field on Friday evening. Jones can't get the finish, hands on head. Oh, heads at the Chemist Warehouse.
I like that Hopeway Torres matchup on the other side. I thought that Cutter Hopeway might have gotten a piece of that one. It's a good contrast of styles, the athleticism and springiness of the slender young Hopeway and the size and the gravity of Perez.
Great to see Hopeway holding his own. We'll take another look at this.
Get the long angle. Let's see. Up there. With ease, young fella. With ease.
With ease. Only his second year in the league, but you could tell me otherwise, Casey. Looks very comfortable.
Well, he's really grown as a player, I think, in this last year. I believe still preparing himself to head to the collegiate system in the United States. But looks like a guy who's going to be able to play at a high level with his athleticism, the way he's been able to improve in these last 12 months on his perimeter game, on his ball handling, and his strength, I think most particularly is what's going to help him most.
Definitely getting a scholarship after the start to the season. Carey Jr. sees a little bit of space, and despite the miss, you like that look for the Nuggets.
Yeah, not bad. Once again, I'd like to see them penetrating, settling for jump shots early, and this is not a friendly rim to shoot on, so I think you want to get that eye in before you start going with the quick threes.
Biesto finds the rim and a nice finish off the backboard. That's how you get it done on these rims.
Tough matchup for Perez there. Just a little change of direction, and Bairstow blows by him with the speed advantage he has. Nice to see Bairstow get off to an early start. He's been struggling a little bit from the field.
With this game, that's bread and butter against the smaller Pero Hunt.
It's just such a cerebral player. Withers really understands the matchup. If you're going to guard him with a point guard down there, he's going to score all day.
Yeah, so the shot fake. Well defended, back up to Cruz. Two-man game, a favourite of the fight. Oh boy, a little bit unorthodox, but gets the bucket to go.
We'll show some really nice balance and strength on getting that catch, taking the bump, and still getting the finish. A quick shot in the other direction allows the Phi to get another fast break opportunity.
Christian Martin's checked in. 0 from 1 already. Chris Jones buries it from deep.
And that's the key today. Pure shots. You hit that rim, it's going off, but you hit the center of the net. And that's dropping with ease. Chris Jones off to a nice start today. Really aggressive on the offensive end early.
Just under 5 minutes to go in this first quarter. Tauranga Whai leading 13-9. Petties with a back down game. Look at that young man.
Yeah, Hopeway's got to watch that film and understand that Perez shot fakes on everything, especially when he's got a young leaper on you. Turns direction, he's just trying to get you up in the air. He's looking like a little bit of a free throw merchant right now. He's going to be able to create those opportunities, and look, it takes his time, gets that hard shot fake up. And it's tough to differentiate with that shot fake between his other fake because he doesn't jump a lot when he is scoring the basketball. So it has a real similar look in terms of his body. But the exaggerated ball is what got Carter Hopeway up in the air that time.
High IQ play for Pettis, who's in his rookie pro season after his collegiate career. Buries that from the Chemist Warehouse stripe.
There's a couple of donations to the Hoops and Schools program by Chemist Warehouse. Every free throw made this season adds to the kitty to install hoops in neighborhoods around the country at schools, just like ones in your neighborhood.
Love the initiative there from Chemist Warehouse as Tara Hunt gets his way through traffic. Xander Masters in the corner, loves that spot.
He comes off the bench, a little instant offense, picking up where he left off in the Rapid League, playing very well, and is becoming a little bit of a piece off the bench for Coach Matt Lacey.
13 points in Sky Broadband Rapid League, in fact, for Masters, and Hopeway just getting played with a little bit.
Fire in trouble now. That's Carter Hopeway with 2 fouls, that's Xander with 2 fouls, so their entire big lineup now in foul trouble with 4 minutes left in the first quarter. It's going to be interesting to see who Coach Matt Lacey goes with here, but you're not going to be able to go with the young Hopeway here with this much time to play. 4 fouls for, and it's Jet Thompson checking into the ball game. And this Otago Nuggets team now, they need to find a way to impose their will on the Phi on the interior. I'm putting all the size I got. And actually, Perez comes out of the game. They actually go slower. So it's going to be Bardsley and Todd Withers on the post with the opportunities.
Carey Jr. buries that first from the chemist warehouse. Interesting to see what the Phi do now. Casey, who do they slide to the 4? Obviously, you're going to have to put Bash at the 5, aren't you?
Going to have to do something. It's going to be a good question. But if I'm the Nuggets, I'm just trying to really try and impose my will. That's what I'm doing now. This team's too small, too young. And if you're not punishing them down on the low block on the other end of the court, I think you're letting them off the hook.
Fair tight action for the Phi. Shot clock winding down. Pro Hunt in control. Masters looks to go 2 from 2 off the bench.
So with confidence, extending that lead for the Phi, who are suddenly looking very comfortable as the Nuggets still struggling to find that offensive flow.
Carey Jr. not afraid to shoot from beyond the arc, but not a lot of success so far for the importers.
Is that going to be a block or a charge? 2 shots. Well, I think Jaden Bazant pretty lucky. It looked like that's a knee-to-knee contact. Looks like Jaden Bazant's grabbing his knee. Block called on the play on Martin. He's taking a knee somewhere that does not feel very good. I'm not sure. He's not looking too healthy there, but nice push in transition by Jaden Bazant attacking. Yeah, I think that's the right call. And everybody's hurt on that one.
Unfortunate for the Nuggets. Martin being so good so far.
I think he took a knee right to the inside of the leg. And sometimes it just gives you a dead leg in there. You can't really pull it off. Could be a bruise. Just in the wrong spot on the knee. So this is unfortunate, of course, for the Nuggets too.
Hoping that the Nuggets staff will take good care, and fingers crossed we'll see Martin again before this game ends. Bazant, the little friendly tap on the back of the head. Nevertheless, Bazant will take a trip to the chemist warehouse.
Please round of applause for our Christian Martin.
Subs coming in for the Phi and the Nuggets. So short-lived break for Perez. You can imagine, Casey, here comes that imposing of the will that you reference. It's a triage of imports back in, and the presence inside is going to be huge for the Nuggets now.
Well, this has been a nice little run for the Phi, really taking control of the game over the last 3 or 4 minutes. Picking up the pace. A much faster team right now with this essentially all-guard lineup they have in the game. Nuggets have to do some damage on the offensive glass and in the post.
Here's to Carey Jr. blown up by Jet Thompson, and it's going to be back over half of the Nuggets.
Phi just outworking the Nuggets right now, just forcing themselves into the play there, not letting Carey Jr. get in. This is a good timeout. I think they needed it. Coach Mike Kelly needs them to reconvene and find a little bit of cohesiveness on the offensive end. That ball's not going through enough hands, you know, to a one-pass shot or coming off a one-ball shot. Need to find some way to force this Phi defense to bend, because right now they're locked into the point of attack. All those perimeter players are getting really aggressive outside on those ball handlers, making things difficult.
6 points for Perez, 4 for Carey Jr., but also 0 from 3 from beyond the arc. You talk about getting paint touches, Casey, essential for the Nuggets. We saw a small amount of that for them in the Sky Broadband Rapid League. On the other side, great start for the Phi. Chris Jones, 7 points, and Masters 6. Of course, winning your free fuel with Waitomo. To grab free fuel off your next Waitomo purchase, scan that QR code and head to the Waitomo's online wheel. Chuck your number in there, spin the wheel, and you'll automatically score money to use on your next fuel up at any Waitomo fuel stop.
Who doesn't need some free fuel? Spin and win.
Look, in this economy, I'm getting my phone out right now.
You gonna give it a go? Now, I have certainly used the Waitomo app previously. Got $5 off. $1 here or there. It's a real cash man.
You'll take $5 where you can.
Don't we all?
The Phi making their way back out on the court. A great start for them so far, Casey.
Well, locked in defensively, doing enough offensively, but mostly just taking advantage of what's coming their way. Not imposing their will just yet, but playing with a little bit of a faster pace. And looking very comfortable out there when they do have the ball in hand.
Bazant, a lot of activity from him so far tonight. Bardsley, Being the slippery eel that he is. And another offensive foul, this time on Biesto.
That is the third offensive foul called on a screen here for the Five this evening. This is looking like a point of emphasis, no doubt.
Sure, the big part of the South NBL, the adjustments the referees have made over the last couple of years. Withers, his first taste from three-point land is off.
Nuggets 0 for 5 from beyond the stripe right now.
Biesto. Masters has been good. Thompson can't find anything. Back to the hands of the cool, calm, collected Bazant. Just finds a gap. Masters. 2 from 3, sorry. Biesto, offensive rebound. Bazant likes that shot. Just off, couple bites of the cherry, but no good for the Five.
Well, a couple of good looks, bent the defense well, but unable to knock it down.
Carey Jr. gets the high on ball there. Can't find Fidesz just yet. Withers likes that one.
Oh, that rim.
Robbed of the N1 is Withers.
That thing is tightened to 10. Todd Withers, one of the quickest releases on the catch and shoot out there on the perimeter. Grabbing his wrist a little bit, don't like the looks of that, but just look at that catch and shoot. Jet Thompson fell in a three-point shooter. Had a little bit of an issue with that in the Rapid League game earlier tonight. Had a couple of fouls on three-point shots. Just not giving the shooter a chance to land that time. And the Nuggets need these free throws to drop to keep themselves within distance. Both teams pretty solid from the stripe today.
Already the 6th free throw attempt for the Nuggets in the first 8 minutes, as Withers never looked like missing from the stripe.
This will actually be the 8th attempt now, and if it's these two teams combined are 11 for 12 from the free throw stripe. And of course, all those 3 makes means 3 more donations to the kitty for the Hoops in Schools program, thanks to Chemist Warehouse.
Bardsley being a disruption. Chris Jones has the worst to say about his contact. Shot clock winding down. Jones pulls and off the front rim. Boucher doing what he does best. Offensive rebounds. Lewis just off, and the Five struggling from beyond the arc.
Well, there's a fast break opportunity there. Perez was unable to get that ball up. Nice hands by Jones to take away that sort of secondary fast break opportunity.
Stewie Lewis in the game now became the all-time Sky Broadband Rapid League scorer just earlier today. Perez hesitating, extra pass to Bardsley. That slippery eel, not so slippery on that one. Darcy can't knocks it down. And the Nuggets just fall short.
Really pleased yourself there. I appreciate that. Foul away from the ball. 3rd personal foul on the Nuggets. They've worked their way back into things. It looked like the Five were taking control, but the Five haven't been able to bend the defense to the same effect as in that middle stage of the first quarter. Nuggets starting to find a little bit more activity offensively. But if I'm the Five, I'm Coach Matt Lacey. I'm just talking pace the entire time. I want to keep the pace high, make this team work. They got 2 new imports in. Perez is another guy that I wouldn't mind forcing to stay at a high work rate for longer.
Speaking of pace, the Nuggets go with it, and it's an N1 day for the Nuggets. Caleb Smiler upping the tally.
That's just, I think, a poor decision there by Jaden Boucher. He was behind the play, wants to challenge it, but sometimes you just got to let it go. Give that 2. Unfortunately for the Five fans, Caleb Smiler takes the hoop, gets the harm, and now is a chance for the old-fashioned three-point play. The late challenge goes unsuccessful. Caleb Smiler, I think, a little bit surprised. He felt some contact there.
Ill discipline may hurt the Five tonight. We've already seen 2 guys bench with 2 fouls. And of course, there was the 3-point land foul for Todd Withers as Caleb Smiler rattles that one in.
And I mentioned that if I'm the coach for the Five, I'm talking about pace. Well, if I'm the coach for the Nuggets, I'm talking about crashing the glass and getting these guys involved physically, because we have to win that battle.
Biesto gets a foul of his own. Just leaves it short, but we'll head to, again, the Chemist Warehouse stripe. A little bit of a cooler start for BSO on the season.
I'm telling you what, if we keep up with these free throws, the Chemist Warehouse is going to build 3 hoops during this game.
How many scores can they reach in one game? Might be a late night for us and you watching at home. BSO just off the mark. Debuted his pro season with the BNZ Breakers, goes 0 for 2.
That's just not what the Phi need as the offense has started to struggle. And now the Nuggets moving with a little bit of pep in their step. And another foul. Jaden Boucher picks up his second. And the Phi just need to keep those hands out of the cookie jar, because they are going to end up with no players pretty fast.
They want some cookies like you wanted a cookie from the vending machine just
don't
before,
snitch
Casey.
on me.
Oh,
don't snitch on me.
Did I just expose you in front of the country?
Nothing behind the curtain. What happens in the booth stays in the booth. Wow, you're killing me.
Well, there you have it, Casey Frank.
I'm all about clean eating.
He had an apple. Sorry, I just saw it wrong.
I had an apple today.
No doctors coming your way, Casey.
Hey.
And there was Perez, the Chemist Warehouse stripe.
Well, they've worked their way all the way back into this. I think it's as much a function as the Phi's offense, not really knowing what to do without a true big out there. A lot of guys playing out of position, and they become a little bit easier to guard.
You can rest assured that Matt Lacey designs a lot of offense that includes the position of a true 5s. Chris Jones will try to make something work, and offensive foul call. That was a no-brainer, Casey.
Well, actually, I thought Carey Jr. moved underneath him. I thought he didn't give him enough landing space. I thought Chris Jones was up in the air before Carey Jr. settled. And we take another look at it. See, Carey Jr., watch him slide up. That, to me, yeah, maybe you're right. Yeah, it's the second time around, it does look like Carey Jr. didn't move as much as I thought he did. So Chris Jones heads to the bench now as he picks up another personal foul.
The beauty of the G.J. Gardner Holmes replay. He's up to 2 personal fouls.
Foul trouble mounting. How about Chris Jones with 2? We've got Sean Bairstow with 2. We've got Carter Hopeway with 2. Talib Zana with 2. Jaden Boucher with 2. And 1 on Jet Thompson.
It's that big position. Boucher, the backup big. Also in foul trouble is Carey Jr. Crafty with it. Everything but the bucket.
And we get a jump ball afterwards. Nice job by Aitchison to get himself in there and earn another possession.
If that doesn't tell the tale of what these Rotorua rims have been giving. 14 years since an NBL game has played here. The Waikato Pistons and Hawke's Bay were the last battlers on this court. Great to have Sal's NBL action back here in Rotorua, Vegas. This position will belong to the Nuggets. Who other than Jose Teddy's just long. And the Phi can't get it to go, and they will finish the first quarter with a 1-point lead, 21-20 over the Otago Nuggets.
The 2 women will be standing here quickly, right here, and the other 2 boys will be shooting 3-pointers. So the first person to make a basket will win this $200 prize from Otago. Are you guys ready? On the count of 3, everybody help me. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Everyone shoot. Hold up. Everyone shoots at the same time. Wait. Hey. The first one, everyone shoots at the same time. The first one to make a basket wins. Okay. Everyone shooting at the same time. The first one to hit the basket. Okay, everyone help me out. 3, 2, 1. Okay, and that was very quick. What's your name? Sade. And what's your students' names? keeps the kids. So everyone, please give it up for Charlotte. And she has won a $200 voucher from White Tauranga. Okay, are we good, Fano? Are we good? Is everybody all right out there? Are we good?
No mai, Hoki mai, welcome back here in Rotorua. The first time we've been here in 14 years. The Tauranga Whai hosting the Nuggets 21-20 round 2 of the NZNBL action here in 2025. A battler of a first quarter, Casey.
It was a battle, especially down low for the Nuggets. They got to the stripe 11 times, probably built up a little bit of appetite. Maybe they can go get themselves a large pepperoni pizza with that QR code or the Sal's Dribble 25 valid until next Tuesday. But the Nuggets did a nice job of working their way back into the ball game. They're not shooting particularly efficient from the line, or from the floor, rather. 0 for 6 from deep, haven't hit a 3 yet. The Phi got off to a nice start from deep, hit 3 early, but since then they've gone a little bit cold. Now 3 for 9, they've only been to the stripe the 6 times, but they're doing a nice job of controlling the basketball early in that quarter. Then the Nuggets came back, more turnovers, 4 turnovers in the latter part for 7 turnovers in the quarter for the Phi.
The Phi's offense drastically changing as well. 11 personal fouls. That, and you see right there on your screen, Zana with 2 himself, 2 for Hopoi, 2 for Bouch, 2 for Jones, and would you believe it, 2 for Fiesto.
Well, I thought 3 was a magic number, but apparently it's 2 today.
And Perez will get his first foul of the ball game, not 2 that time.
Well, to leave Zana, I'm really watching out on these screens because this is where he's gotten himself in trouble. And Coach Matt Lacey's trusting the play a little bit more.
Fiesto, nice bounce pass to Pero Hunt in the corner. That's what he does.
Cruz Pero Hunt got off to that blinder of a start in game 1. Came back down to earth as did the rest of the Phi offense against the Franklin Bulls, but nice to see that stroke dropping.
Nice to see the Phi back in rhythm from the corner, up to 4 from 10 now, 40%. With his working on Pero Hunt, recognizes the mismatch, couple bites at the cherry, can't get it to go.
It's close to a travel for Bairstow. Somebody in the crowd agreed with me.
Masters with momentum to the rim. Tries to foul there on Knox. He's been great off the bench.
Yeah, he's come out with a lot of energy. 6 points already, going to try and add to that total. And nothing like getting some found money on the bench offensively. Zana Marsters looks like a player that Coach Matt Lacey is going to depend him on this season. Went to him early these last few games, so it certainly looks like he's risen in his estimation.
Recent graduate from Rotorua boys. He's on home soil. Maybe that's
there you go.
A key to his success as he rattles that one home.
Always good to come home. Sure, he's got a nice contingent of supporters out there in the crowd this evening.
Averaged just a light 34 points at secondary school nationals last year.
I mean, that's not bad.
And the year before was only 27, so.
It's good to see improvement.
Yeah, thank God, because 27 points a game. Goodness. Nuggets only 20 points so far. Kerry Jr. just loves that 3, and there it is. He finds some success.
Finally, he hits it, and finally the Nuggets get a triple, their first of the ball game. Kerry Jr. not creating a lot of space, but backs that shot and was able to make the strings sing.
Zana, a better job on the screen there, but Besto mishandles it. Perez in transition, and another foul for the Phi.
Jose Perez is just hunting that contact and is able to find it. You know, he's not a huge leaper, staying pretty low to the ground, but he keeps on tempting these defenders to over-challenge him on these shots and keeps on earning trips to the Chemist Warehouse because of it.
On 4 fouls on the Phi so far.
It's a talent. It is a great talent to have. If you're able to get yourself to the free throw line to keep that scoreboard kicking over, that is a valuable skill to have.
I mean, second in the MVP votes, Shea Gilch-Shalatanda, the best in the world at doing it.
Yeah, right now I think he is a bit of a foul merchant. You know, you always traditionally you're thinking of guys like James Harden, obviously, really good at it. But, you know, just in general, if you can get to the line 8 to 10 times a game, that's a found money for offenses.
And Perez already 4 from 5 as Piero Hunt gets that nice little floater to go. Up 3 now out of the fight.
All based off that deep penetration. When the Phi get that penetration, offense looks so much nicer. And they're working through Perez in the post against Cruz Piero Hunt.
So he's been the focus point.
Why do they keep jumping? That should have been another foul. Perez is right. Everybody goes for these fakes. He fakes every time.
How many people can he get in the air in one half of basketball?
Too many, because nobody's learning this lesson. So I'm sure it was on the scout too.
Carey Jr.
Oh,
thought he had found his rhythm, but
in and out.
these Rotorua rims are mean.
Nice pass out of the penetration by.
And again, we just see those unfriendly rims. Tui Lewis is comfortable from the corner. Again, they strike. Carey Jr. just taking some time to find his rhythm in today's matchup. Only his first NZNBL game.
Yeah, hasn't been in the country for very long. It does take a wee bit of time, especially the first time you go overseas. But if the first time overseas is a trip to New Zealand, that is quite the wake-up call. That is, nobody in America has ever been on a flight that long before in their lives.
I mean, half of America probably don't even know we exist, so.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
No offense, of course, to any American viewers. Love you all.
Well, except for the ones that don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
You should look at a map.
I mean, it doesn't help that we're not on half of maps, but.
That's another problem. Another problem for another day as Carter Hopewell gets fouled on his way to the cup.
Oh boy, back in with 2 fouls. 18-year-old young star, smashing NZNBL so far. 17 points against the Rams on opening night, 13 on Monday evening against the Bulls.
Bevy of teenagers performing well in the competition so far this year. Obviously, Jackson Ball.
Need a river.
Yeah, well, he will. Just keep listening. He's up there leading the league in scoring right now at 38 points per game. But Tama Isaac with a huge performance against the Giants on the weekend. Plumtree coming off the bench for the Saints has been really solid. Obviously, Carter Hopewell so influential in that win against the Rams, but they aren't the only ones. There's a lot of youth coming through. That's got to be an offensive foul on Perez. He's just got the forearm in the chest. And Hopewell, who can do nothing because of the 2 fouls he has. You have to send a double to Perez if he's going to get that deep a position.
Definition of volleyball there from Perez. Nice to see Hopewell staying disciplined on that one. Bairstow spins. Unfortunate on that one, but goes one better on the offensive rebound. Gets the N1.
Yeah, Bairstow loses the ball there. I think he was pretty fortunate to not get called for traveling or carry. Beautiful move on that spin move, but couldn't quite handle the basketball and actually turned out better for him. Look at this move, just completely uses Darcy Knox, but also loses the ball. Can't hit the first, gets the second. Darcy Knox, it was pretty straight up, not a lot of contact in that one. That's a tough whistle on him, but turnabout's in fair play. The Phi have had a few tough whistles on them.
Bairstow up to 4 points now. The 24-year-old out of Brisbane. Only a second pro season, comes from a massive basketball family, obviously.
There's a few ballers there.
Yep. Older brother Cam for the Bulls as Carey Jr. gets that nice little one to go. Younger sister, of course, playing in the Soihi League, as we'll see our first time out of the second quarter.
Older sister Steph Bairstow, yeah, played in Toihi's last season. She was the MVP of the Rapid League.
Seriously, some talent floating around in that family. Great genes. Tauranga Whai leading 32-29. Mike Kelly on debut this year for NZNBL coaching. A plethora of experience, though. Lots of ANBL gigs for him.
Well, first as a player, then as a coach. Came over as an import and was an assistant coach for a long time before he got his first opportunity up in Cairns. And moved on from there, went down to Southeast Melbourne. Didn't quite work out. And this season, he was let go mid-season, so fantastic to see somebody of his quality down in Otago, trying to get these guys playing together. Of course, the Nuggets had that relationship with the Perth Wildcats when they were both owned by the same organization, but that pipeline of talent and coaching has left them, so got to figure out different ways to get some players in, different ways to get some coaches in, and we're fortunate to convince Coach Mike Kelly to come down.
Would you say a little bit of a teething process possibly for the Nuggets, you know, having to find different avenues of recruiting? I mean, they have their local guys, but the imports definitely a bit of a struggle.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that normally comes on the coaches. When you bring a coach in, you know, they're normally looking for their players through their contacts, especially one as experienced as Coach Kelly. And unfortunately for the Nuggets, they weren't able to get him until late, so the whole process started a little bit late, hence why we're doing it. And, you know, with the league finishing or starting when the league starting the season, there's still a lot of leagues going on. The talent that's available is probably not what you'd hope at the start of the season. That's why some teams are waiting a little bit longer. So a lot of teams, of course, this year focusing on Australian-based talent so they could ensure that they had those guys available at the end of the ANBL season.
Honestly, the story of the first couple of rounds here has just been who has more imports and locals that are actually in the country.
It's quite often the story of the early season. Nice defense, Todd Withers challenging Hopeway above the rim without fouling.
That's just what Todd Withers brings. And Jose Perez is having a feast in the paint tonight, up to 14 points.
Well, you're not going to guard him with somebody his size. He's got too low a center of gravity, so he's going to get that done all day long with guys like Cruz Pearl-Hunter, Tatui Lewis, with Jaden Bazant guarding.
Poor boy stays the lane. A thunderous throwdown for the young man.
Carter Hopeboy can get a little get back like that, playing above the rim. Only Todd Withers has the ability to meet him up there, and he was out on the perimeter chasing shooters.
Tick for tack in the second quarter. The Fire with a slim 3-point lead. Let's see what Withers can do here. Spins baseline. Biesto eats him up.
Well, he closed that gap, thought a little bit too physical, but he gets away with it. It turns out nicely for the Nuggets as Matthew Bardsley bangs home the triple.
Poor boy. Position to go, slamming it down. Fire up to slow things down. Masters likes that corner and puts the hand up to celebrate.
Nice patience shown there by Carter Hopeboy. Didn't react to the cutter, putting his hands up, really wanting the basketball, but saw that the defense was a little out of whack and hits the Xander Marsters for that triple.
Curry Jr. had a bit of a quiet night. 9 points though. A quiet 9 as Bardsley has a little bit of a hot hand at the moment, but these Rotorua rims, believe us when we say these are tough. Besto, nice kick to Pero Hunt. And yes, he buries it.
Well, good job pushing the pace so you can get that shot off before the defense gets set. Cruz Pero Hunt in that shooting position, and the ball delivered well and on target.
2 from 4 from 3-point land for the ex-Rosamond guard.
I like this defense better on Perez. Bring that second defender over when he attacks the rim.
Give up though. KC is the corner 3.
Just don't mind that with that closeout on the weak side. As long as it's not one pass away, your defender should have time to recover, as they did there.
Masters to Pero Hunt, who has the hot hand.
Well, what a response. The Nuggets tie it up. And from that point on, 9 straight points for the Five, all from beyond the arc. Getting it done from deep. Penetrating first, kicking it outside. This one, Xander Marsters hooks up Cruz Pero Hunt, his second in as many attempts in these last few possessions. And the Five, a flurry of offense, gives them a nice little lead in a game that's been tough to find offense in.
43-34 is the lead for the Five. Nuggets have notoriously been struggling as far this season with their scoring. We'll see once again the GJ Gardner-Holmes replay. Oh boy, getting up. It's got to be in plays of the week. Casey,
well, the week is young, but we'll take another look at the flying. He is coming down, playing above the rim. Too much speed on that direct line drive on Perez. I like it when they give him space, don't have that next pass so tight, so he has a little bit of room to move on that right hand, especially where he feels much more comfortable driving.
Definitely a matchup you feel Matt Lacey is coaching to attack Jose Perez. Foot speed advantage by way of Carter Hopeboy. Mike Kelly leading the pack here. What are some adjustments the Nuggets can make out of this timeout, Casey?
Well, I think they're going to have to do a better job of first getting back in transition and getting set. That's where the Five have found their success these last few plays. Quick shots on one end lead to fast break opportunities, and if the Five can push that ball in transition, and have this Otago Nuggets team scrambling. That's when they have been their most effective offensively. Of course, it helps if the Nuggets can just put that ball in the bucket. That takes away those free fast break opportunities. But in absence of that, maybe a little pressure up the court to slow down that ball before it gets to the half court.
Just 34% from the field for the Nuggets. Matching their scoring, actually, as Perez has been their guy so far today. Up to 14 points already. His 5th foul that he's drawn tonight, Casey, as he'll head to the Chemist Warehouse stripe.
They're doing a nice job at it. And I think the FI probably giving those shooters a little bit too much respect out there for the Nuggets. You know, in game 1 of the season, they only hit 7 out of 22 for 31% in that ball game. And right now, they're a little reticent to double off the perimeter. I'm sending 2 players at Perez right away because he is just too much to handle for any of the defenders that the FI have out there right now, one-on-one. I'd probably send that defender a little bit earlier.
Seemingly the only way to stop him.
Did they just count that bucket? Yeah, I think they called, maybe we're looking at a violation, but that one's going to go. Not sure exactly what happened there, but 2 points for Perez.
Chris Jones back on the floor, the 33-year-old with a flurry of experience. He's played in many countries, most recently in the Canadian League for the London Lightning. Hero Hunt, foot speed advantage, stops, pops, and connects.
Yeah, and that's being guarded by Todd Withers. That's great length to contest that, but the good quick move, and Cruz Pro Hunt creates a lot of space, but now he's in the grindhouse with Perez.
Just quietly 13 points for Cruz Pero Hunt. Withers just off the back mark, and uh-oh, here comes Perez, and yes, you can rest assured he's heading back to the Chemist Warehouse.
And Cruz Pro Hunt, leading scorer for the FI, but second leading scorer in the ball game because Jose Perez is getting the work in. 15 points for him on 4 for 7 from the field, and a little bit of damage done from the free throw stripe as well. 7 for 9 from the Chemist Warehouse today. Of course, every one of those 7 makes adds to the kitty, the donations that the Chemist Warehouse is making to the Hoops in Schools program for hoops across New Zealand in conjunction with BBNZ. A fantastic program that's bringing a hoop in the heart of every community across New Zealand. Great to have
Hoops in Schools. Allows the younger generation to get some shots up and get involved in the amazing sport that basketball is here in Aotearoa. Chris Jones just nowhere to go, is trying to direct Jed Thompson where to go. Had some words to say. It's frustrating as a teammate when you have a bit of miscommunication like that.
You know, the first couple of weeks and knowing one another, as a guard, you think you know where guys want to go, but you have to understand what they're comfortable with, and unfortunately, that just takes time. You can't do it in a practice or 2.
Massive screen there from Aitchison. Floors Jones, and off the back of that, Carey Jr. buries a 3.
I'm calling acting on Chris Jones if it was a massive screen on Aitchison. Come on now. It was a solid screen by Josh Aitchison there. He puts the shoulder in, does a nice job of creating for his teammate, and the Nuggets back to 6.
Hero Hunt again elevates at the rim. What a night that young man's having as the FI lead 47-39.
6 for 9 from the field. Cruz Pro Hunt now for his 15 points.
Oh, slithery finish there, Carey Jr.
That's tough with the same hand, actually putting it right up there on the platter for Hope Boy if he gets up, but he wasn't expecting the quick release, hence the finish.
Hero Hunt back at the top. Oh,
nice job, Aitchison.
Somehow ends up back with the 5. Bazant, no good. Couldn't capitalize on that turnover there. Aitchison will lead the break now. Uh-oh, here comes the damage, and Bardsley, the slippery eel at its finest.
Quick timeout by Matt Lacey, and a good timeout because Otago Nuggets, since that time, their timeout a few moments ago, have found a little bit of rhythm. And I like that kick ahead to Perez, a willing passer. Good cut there by Bardsley. We haven't seen a lot of movement for Perez when he's had the ball in the post, but that time, that semi-transition opportunity for Matthew Bardsley ends in the easy finish, and the Nuggets work their way back to a 4-point deficit.
Okay, so I really like that off-ball movement. I think the FI are going to be throwing a lot more attention at Pitties now, up to 16 points. So great to see their other pieces now get involved in the offense.
Yeah, and I like the timing of that post-up. It was really early in the offense. The majority of his touches tonight have been pretty methodical. They're waiting through, and he lets the defense get set that time. You can see that if he can get it set before all the defenders are ready for him, then he can become a more willing passer if somebody's able to give him the angle.
All our stats, of course, brought to you by a chemist or warehouse. A stat that's jumping off the screen to me. Cruz Pura Hunt up to 15 points and Masters with 11 off the bench. And the highly anticipated Todd Withers, only 5 points, 1 from 7 from the field. But you've got to give it to him, getting it done defensively.
Well, the one stats that's jumping out at me more than anything is the turnovers. And we remember looking at the stats before the game, they're relatively even coming into this one. Right now, the Otago Nuggets staying in this one because they're taking care of the basketball. Just 3 turnovers on the evening. Conversely, Tauranga Whai, 9 turnovers already coming up at halftime. Giving that possession away has enabled the Nuggets to stay close.
More controlled night for the Nuggets, who had 15 turnovers against Southland last time they played. Aitchison just overzealous on his hard show.
An unfortunate foul for the Nuggets because that's the 5th personal. And that's going to send Chris Jones to the Chemist Warehouse stripe. Well, maybe not. Could be counting wrong. Maybe they've already added it up. Yeah, I'm right.
When are you even wrong,
Well, I can't believe I doubted myself. What am I doing?
Stay true to you, Casey.
Yeah, good point. Thanks. You know, the youth does have some good things to say.
Oh, the youth, acting like I'm 15 years old. Thanks so much. Saving my generation. One good quote at a time as Chris Jones. These Rotorua rims aren't anyone's friend tonight.
Not friendly, and it's the type of rim that takes a little bit of getting used to. Chris Jones was really explosive early. Scored 7 points pretty much from the first couple of minutes. But that is the first time that he's tested the nets since that early flurry. Chris Jones on the post and Perez. They're going with stout against stout. Full front now. I like the change in strategy from Matt Lacey. Let's make it a little harder. Let's not let him get catches.
Well, he's up to 16 like we alluded to before. Withers looking to get involved offensively, and that's a perfect response.
He does what he does. Todd Withers loves a tray with a quick release. And when he steps that far back, tough to contest for the defender.
Chris Jones off the glass. There it is. A nice settler there for the fight.
Yeah, good recognition of how he was being defended and kisses it off the glass to get the finish.
The Nuggets, though, digging themselves out of this hole. What a back to a 2-possession game. Perez thought he might get the foul there.
Well, that's the exact same foul that Chris Jones got earlier in the post, trying to be physical, and Perez reads it well, but doesn't get the benefit of the doubt that time.
Back to back. Feels like a bit of deja vu with that bucket.
5 straight points for Chris Jones. He did this early. It was just about 7 straight, and now a player timeout. As Jed Thompson, active, nearly gets the steal before the timeout is given.
We'll see this on the GJ Gardner-Holmes replay. Elevates, great wall up there from Aitchison, but a tough finish from 33-year-old vet. The BNZ player timeout, of course. Scan that QR code for your chance to win tickets to the big game. Any game, Sales NBL 2025 scan. Like I said earlier, bring your church group, bring your school group, bring your basketball friends. Get on
Community groups, volunteer groups, groups of any kind. Well, maybe not any kind.
Depends what we're talking about here.
Yeah.
BNZ, of course, inspiring the next generation of Kiwi basketballers. Nuggets with what you'd assume is the last possession of the half. Who else would it be? Perez likes that matchup against Biesto, who was bewildered at the foul call.
Yeah, it's a tough one. It's just Perez is just really good at hunting out that contact, just forcing himself to get into the body of Sean Bairstow. And Bairstow picks up his 3rd personal now. Not what he was hoping for, but just not in great position defensively. Has one hand on the body, the other hand not quite straight up. So if it looks awkward, sometimes it looks awkward to the officials as well. That's why they call it.
He's just such a strong body, a force to be reckoned with, can be described as. 17 points on the board. Living at the Chemist Warehouse stripe tonight as Nuggets back to 4. Once again, BNZ player timeout. To be called here from Carter Hawkboy. I'll say it again. Scan that QR code and be in the draw to win tickets to the big game sometime this season. Sal's NBL, a great atmosphere to be at. Casey, you've been around the league for a while. You never want to miss a Sal's NBL game.
It's always something exciting happening. The first thing I hear from anyone who came to their first basketball game, it's always the same. I didn't know these were this much fun.
Well, there you have it. It doesn't look like Teresa's having much fun, but I promise you, it is a good time, especially in Rotorua, Vegas. 6 seconds on the clock here. Wide open is Jaden Bazant.
Leave it up. It's pretty. It's so pretty. Let your teammates know about it, JB. JB Smooth coming with a buzzer beater that he has become quite prolific at over the years. Nothing but net. Keep it up there. It's a work of art.
A great finish in the first half for the Whai. They lead 55-48 over the Nuggets.
This is the halftime, 55 points and 48 points to the Nuggets, 55 to the Whai. Halftime follow. Get you something to nibble on, something to sip. Okay, father, what we're going to do is we have a competition between a father and daughter. So, Hilda, what's your name? Amaya. Hey, Maya, how are you? How and Pop, how do we go, Maru? What's your name, brother? Ducky and Amaya. Okay, Edwards. Everyone, please put your hands together for Ducky and Amaya. Hey. So can I ask you do you guys hoop? Do you hoop, bro? Yes. Oh, that's great. That's great. I like how you didn't lie either. Okay, Amaya, do you hoop? So you both play basketball? You actually, because we've had some people at some stage, they couldn't shoot a basket at all. And it is very nice to have a father and a daughter that can actually hoop. I like that. Does everyone else say it out there like that? I like that. Yep. Put up your hand if you like that. So what we're going to do is, I'm going to give you guys a chance to shoot a three-pointer, and so the first one to get it, I think, will win this. But the cool thing is, Father and Dad, the $200 is going to go home to someone. But let's come stand over here. Stand over this side, bro. And the main thing is for me is that who's really going to get the $200? If Maya wins it, are you going to give it to Maya, like for real? No, I'm keeping it. Well, I have to catch Maya, understand it. So Maya, do you feel that if you get the 3-point first, that you should win the money?
Got some future NBL stars watching on with hope at halftime here in Rotorua. The Whai leading 55-48.
That's some quality moulays and rat's tails there. They're putting some more work in the barber department as the Rotorua fans are checking things out. Johnson in the crowd as well as we take a look at the Chemist Warehouse halftime stats. Leading scorers, 5 players in double figures. Sandon Marsters off the bench with 11, but led by Cruz Pero Hunt are the 5. Jose Perez leading the way for the Nuggets. 5 rebounds is the top stat for either squad. There's been a lot of them because a lot of misses has been coming out. 4 assists for Cruz Pero Hunt. The 2 assists for Don Perry Jr. on the defensive end of things. A couple of blocks for Withers, one for Hopewell in the matchup we highlighted before the game, finishing with the steals. Not too many. Most of the turnovers have been self-inflicted, hence just 4 steals in the ballgame.
Whai looking a bit more fluent at the end of this first half here. Sales NBL action, 57% from the field for them. It's been the Nuggets all at the Chemist Warehouse so far, Casey.
All at the Chemist Warehouse stripe, and living off the turnovers that they've been able to force. They forced 9 turnovers in the first half, which is made up for their ability to just hit 14 out of 35 shots overall, and 4 of 13 from deep in that first half.
It's a tough stat when you're playing in the Sales NBL. What are you thinking of this second half? We can't wait to hear your thoughts coming back here in Rotorua. Stay tuned here on Sky Sport. The Tauranga Whai hosting the Otago Nuggets.
And so because we have to, because it's 3 turns each, you get another chance to knock off. You get one more break because it was 3 chances, a chance to 3. Everybody, make some noise! 3, 2.
It's an internship,
That wasn't bad. So, everyone, please round of applause for Rotorua right here. And please also make some noise for Maya as well. So, brother, what's your name again, brother? Dougie and Maya. What a cool personnel that'll be rocking. So, once again, brother, please make some noise for Dougie and Maya. Okay, so now I'm going to have the competition for the over 20 mamas. We gave it to Will. Will was in his own category because he was the only one that got up and danced. I appreciate you, my friend. You are the man. So, are there any whai there up in here that are really, really good at, oh my gosh, straight to, that was like, Avengers Assemble. You just jumped in there. I was like, wow. Auntie, Rocky. Are there any entries from over that side that will be entering into the over 20 women's? Put up your hand if you're over there. Anyone? For real? Because I want to be able to see, okay, we're going to go for this side first. Over this side, okay, cool. We're going to go for this side first. So who is entering into this competition right here? 1, 2, it's going to be women over 20. Women over 20. So at the moment we've got 2. We've got 2. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Bam. I picked my winner from over here, who's like, can I just say, I should have said it right in the beginning, we have to keep it PG. Auntie was really going into the un-PG moves. I was like, hey, hold on, time out. So, is there an entrant from over this side? Okay, ready? Are you ready? Anyone from this side is entering into the dance competition? We had some good dancers over there. Are you ready? Represent. Stand up, represent. Are you ready? Come on, fire. Okay, we've got one fire here. I love it. Please give it up for this fire on this side. Oh, I like it, everyone. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, bam.
No mai, hoki mai. Welcome back here to the electric atmosphere in Rotorua. The Tauranga Whai leading the Otago Nuggets 55-48. The first time a game's been played here in 14 years. Sales NBL action ready for exciting. Case Frank, what's been your thoughts in the first half?
Well, a pretty hard-fought defensive struggle for most of it, with little flurries of offense by both teams. Obviously, the Nuggets able to keep things tight by attacking the paint and getting a lot of trips to the Chemist Warehouse stripes. But the Phi have been able to counter that at times with pace of their own, pushing in transition, and certainly have had more luck from the perimeter. If the Nuggets can't do a better job of shutting down those options outside beyond the three-point arc, it's going to be pretty difficult, I think, for them to keep pace with this Phi squad in the second half, who I would expect to lift their level of pressure in the full court.
Looks like those at home agree with you there, Casey. Is Phi with good chances and good backing behind them. Scan that QR code to get involved at mixandpick.com. The Phi heavy favourites from the get-go tonight.
Yeah, they've come together a little bit earlier, had their team together for a little bit longer, and of course had a much better performance against the defending champs, and that'll get you a little bit of confidence from the betting public. They'll be like, hey, you know, these guys know what they're doing. The question is, can they continue to capitalize on it? They got the opening win a season ago in their inaugural year, but then weren't really able to string those wins together. You know, when I look at the teams that are trying to get to the finals in the competition this year, just those 6 spots for 12 squads, it is going to be very difficult. You're going to have to string wins together a few times to get yourself on the other side of 500 and give yourself a chance for the postseason.
Man, some well put together rosters this year, Casey. The Phi actually finishing 8th on the ladder in their inaugural season, like you mentioned. They finished 8-12, tied with the Hawks and the Giants, but just lost out on points percentage. And interestingly, the Phi never beat the Nuggets before. We'll take a look at some games upcoming. The Giants and the Saints battle tomorrow night. Panthers, their home opener against the Bulls, a battle of the 09. The Hawks will take on the Nuggets, a very quick turnaround for the Otago Breathers, and Rams versus Sharks at the one, the only Cows Stadium.
Man, there are a couple of interesting games. Of course, the Panthers home opener. Great to see them on their home court for the first time. A Nelson Giants, Wellington Saints matchup always has a little bit of extra in it. You know, it's always one that you really want to get. Now, of course, you want to win your home games, but you kind of like really winning that game on the road. But then the finishing on the week, going to be interesting to see if the Hawks can hold court again. Their 3rd home game to start the season against this Nuggets team, with not too much time in between. So a lot of basketball happening. 26 games in 20 days to open the Sal's NBL this year.
Well, it's called Mad March for a reason. It's certainly living up to the name thus far. Don't believe it's going to stop in the next couple of weeks. Mike Kelly there giving his strict instruction to his boys in blue. Great addition to the Nuggets this year.
Yeah, I'm also a little bit curious about that Canterbury Rams Southland Sharks game that's going to come up this weekend as well. That Sharks team looked pretty fantastically fit. They looked like they were well connected. Josiah Alec, certainly a strong player in the perimeter, and a different team defensively than we saw from the Sharks a season ago. Will be a good test for him up against a Ram squad that is unlikely to be at full strength just yet, but has plenty of talent, enough talent certainly to get the victory.
Sharks have certainly rewritten history with their recruiting in the off-season. Jonathan Yim, great pickup for the deep south. Hope he's enjoying the good old Invercargill at the moment. Lots to enjoy there, of course.
Good save. You really saved yourself from the Invercargill public with that one.
I love Southland. I think everyone knows it. I love Southland.
Love it. How often do you go?
Every now and then. Anyway, I think we should get back to the South NBL we have in front of us. So Nuggets trailing. We'll start with possession. Carey Jr. up to 14 points on the night. His first game outside of the States. There he is, right on cue. Up to Todd Withers. Oof.
Nice attack, Sean Bairstow, taking that away. And the fast break activity, the give, the go for Chris Jones and Cruz Pro Hunt, who continues his scoring onslaught.
A dream start for the Phi. Withers will catch his hand.
I think that's an eye poke. Looks like he's grabbing his eye there, like he got poked in the eye. Mostly what you're doing at this point is bringing attention to the official that, hey, see this? You see this thing that you didn't call for me? Oh yeah, it looks like maybe, not sure exactly what that is, but it was pretty instant. Nice decision making on the passing between Jones and Pero Hunt afterwards.
Cruz unsure of.
So what happened? Why are we stopping? Let's go.
I want to play basketball.
Oh, his eye. Is he still in the game? He's okay then. Let's get moving.
Let's get moving, says Carey Jr. Withers has recovered. Here is a hot first quarter going back to basics, the Whai a much better job.
Well, Perez trying to get the foul there. Cruz Perahun, I think, pretty fortunate not to get a whistle.
Chris Jones continues the flurry he started at the end of the first half.
He's up there over 12 points now and a chance to get to 13 if he's able to get the make on this one. Nice attack in transition by Chris Jones. Sorry, 14 points now. That is 12 points. The stats have caught up.
All stats brought to you by Chemist Warehouse, of course.
But he's doing a nice job in transition and taking the opportunities. Hasn't really forced the action at all, but has been able to get to the rim with a bit of regularity. And that time, Darcy Knox, I think, just committed to the chase too much and got stuck in no man's land.
Kerry Jr. Biesto well disciplined and off to the races the Whai go. Tero Hunt sees a lot of space. Yes, he can.
Feeling it. Started the season with a 27-point explosion. And backing that up nicely now, he's up to 20 points on the evening as he hit his 4th triple of the ball game, 4 for 6 from behind the arc.
What a clip from KBH, the boy out of Rosmini. Reunited with his high school coach, Matt Lacey.
Some say he never left. Danger times here for the Nuggets. And they've been trading 3s for 2s in the first half. We're able to work their way back in. But now a big deficit is going to cause them to play with a little bit more speed. And that hasn't really been their forte up to this point of the ball game.
Love that celebration on the GJ Gardner-Holmes replay. It's going to be
that's a flop technical.
Wow.
And I appreciate the difficult job the officials have to make about calling flops and not calling flops. But I'll tell you what, if you've ever been within like 6 inches of a guy like Jose Perez, who's throwing his body at the rim, it does not feel like a flop when he's hitting you, even if you're accentuating the contact a little bit.
I feel like Cruz Perahun's just trying to big his case.
Well, Perez has been throwing his body around and getting in there with a lot of regularity. And so at halftime, you've probably had that conversation with the coach. Like, you should try and take that charge when he comes in. But Perez does a nice job of holding his balance. He's got that low center of gravity, so you're not going to get him off balance and get that charge so easily in a post move.
There he is again. We'll try to hunt that position back again in the paint. Kerry Jr. over the longer Hopoi. Can't get the shooter's touch. Cruz will get another stat to his tally. The hot hand of Chris Jones. Biesto now. Quiet night so far for him. Masters loves the corner, gets his offensive rebound.
Nice follow, giving Biesto an opportunity. He drains the triple. Feels good about that. He's been waiting for that one to drop. His first attempt of the night drops in. He's up to 8 points on some efficient shooting, just 3 for 4 from the field overall.
And just like that, Casey, a massive lead for the Whai now. They've just blown it out in these last couple of minutes. I don't know where the time went.
Well, it's just the speed has finally caught up to the Otago Nuggets. And in the first half, I'm saying push the pace, push the pace. That's what the Whai want to do, especially with this smaller lineup. But these last few minutes, they've been able to turn that pace and that pressure into offensive baskets on the other end. The Nuggets have not yet scored here in the half. 11-0 run to start the quarter in this first 2 minutes and 7 seconds.
And also Christian Martin, who went out early in the game as well, just takes away a piece who can score as well. 16 points in the opening game for him. Of course, all highlights every Tuesday on the Highlights Show. Sal's NBL short packs, a lot of highlights, especially in Mad March.
It's a lot of games to get through. So me and Justin, we're talking about those games afterwards, and we're like, how many games do we have to go back now? There's quite a few to work through.
It's all worth it, though. Been such a great season so far. Some electric finishes, of course, and the most notably the double OT with the Saints in the Ears on Sunday. The balls came down to the wire Monday. Had the Ears and the Jets last night.
Some very tight ones. Of course, the Jets have had a couple of close ones at Hawke's Bay last week as well.
How did I not mention that? I literally commentated.
They all blend after a while.
Yeah, you're right.
All blend. Well, coming out of this timeout, important for the Nuggets to reestablish their offensive identity. Haven't had anything going here in the first couple of minutes. But swarming defense from the 5, making that difficult.
Perez trying to become a playmaker out of that position, but knocked away to the far side.
Yeah, with that short shot clock, the 5 choosing not to double, instead getting their hands in the passing lane, leaving just 1.6 on the clock for a shot to get off.
Withers will go back from beyond the arc, just short. Continuing a tough night for him. Oh, I love the pace. Back to Chris Jones, the 2-man game. Patterned for the fight. Masters loves that spot. Last 2 have been unsuccessful for him.
Well, nice transition defense there by the Nuggets, forcing them into the half-court game before getting that defensive stop. How can they turn it into points down here? No, they cannot.
Ball movement looked great, but the fight in transition. Bairstow just leaves the finish short.
Well, they're so good at challenging vertically and keeping himself from getting that momentum foul by moving forward.
Todd Withers being low in activity in the paint, and just again like Bairstow leaves that one short. He screams out in frustration. Todd Withers.
Yeah, good offense again, but couldn't get that in. Chris Jones looking like he's got something going on with the shoe or the ankle there.
Fight looking pretty comfortable right now, lead 66-48. Sal's NBL action of 20-25. Only in round 2, being so exciting so far. Bairstow. Back up to Jones. Finds Pero Hunt, who's got the hot hand, and just rims out. A great shot nonetheless for the fight.
A couple of stops in a row for the Nuggets, but once again, need something going down here.
Somehow keeps them bounced as Bairstow.
They're still keeping that one. Everybody had a chance to steal it.
In rhythm, Pero Hunt, front rim, tried to adjust his last miss, but can't.
And the Fi's settling for the jump shot now. If I'm them, I want to get my next play at the rim.
Todd Withers, athletic as usual, likes that matchup against the younger, inexperienced Carter Hopoi.
He understands what needs to get done when you're down big like this. You need to stop that clock, give yourself a chance for the defense to set, but you have to attack the rim. You have to be aggressive. You have to make things happen. And the Nuggets just really haven't been able to make anything happen this half. This is 4 minutes of scoreless basketball for them so far. And the Fi have jumped on the opportunity, jumping out of the gates and taking this big lead.
They've also lived at the Chemist Warehouse stripe to start this ball game, as Todd Withers buries that one. Just a second free throw of this quarter. Of course, every free throw made this season gives a donation from Chemist Warehouse to build hoops and schools throughout Aotearoa, thanks to the Chemist Warehouse Hoops and Schools program. Within 16.
Well, finally 2 points on the board. But will that get the Fi going a little bit again?
Again, that middle on ball favoured for the fight. Tui Lewis loves that three-point land. Shot 40% last year, but won't connect on that. Carey Jr. Oh, defended by Bazan. Goes back for more. This Carey Jr. Again, the Fi getting lifted.
I tell you what, the only conversation I would have had if I was Matt Lacey at halftime is stay on your feet.
And then say, again, maybe a couple more times.
Do not jump for this. We do not have a lot of shot blockers outside of you, Carter Hopoi. So everybody else, we can go ahead and forego, well, actually, just the one block for the team in this game. And that is from Carter Hopoi. So he's the only one who's allowed to jump. And even you stay on your feet, too, because you got a couple of those fouls in the first half.
And speaking of shot blockers, Talib Zana, only 5 minutes, went out early with a couple of foul troubles, but maybe there's some injury speculation we don't know about. Surprised that he hasn't been back in the ballgame, Casey.
Well, he came back in the game. They gave him that chance at the start of the second quarter.
Not a long stint, though.
And he's over there on the end of the bench, not looking super enthused.
Not always the best place to be, the bench.
It would be unfortunate if he did take some kind of knock and some type of injury. See if we can't get word.
Chris Jones, ball on a string. Be crazy if it goes. It doesn't. Arden back in the ball game. Kerry Junior just travels out of the corner. Coach Keller.
Yeah, it's unfortunate right when you're starting to work your way back into things. A couple of buckets, cut it back to 14. And you know that this FI offense tends to go slow. As Todd Withers enjoying a little bit of Jimmy. Jimmy Clone, that is. No, you're not across this one?
Blank face from me,
no
Casey.
No Lenny Kravitz for you?
I'm the youth, like you said. Got a hot boy, the youth as well, leaves that one short. Nuggets doing a pretty good job defensively, but like you said, Casey, they've got to get it done on both ends if they want to come back in this ball game.
You need to start stringing those baskets together. And it would be helpful if they could find a little bit of the range from deep at the same time. It has not really been their friend. 4 for 14 from beyond the arc today are the Nuggets at 28%. 5 though, up over 40.
Similarly, only 34% from the field, and that's just too easy for Todd Withers. You need more of that.
You do need more of that. And right after you asked, the lead, Zana gets back into the ball game. So right when we question it is when he gets his opportunity.
See what kind of damage he can produce. Jaden Boucher to Lewis in the corner. He's missed a few, but will continue to pull the offensive rebound for the fight. Viesto. Zana. Finds Zana inside. Nice little dish off pass. Used all the seconds in the shot clock, but still couldn't get a look.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Jaden Boucher expected that one. Unselfish play by Zana, but possibly a little bit too much so.
Yeah, so just open the gates for Perez there. That's too easy.
He's expecting the double to come right away, but the double is not coming. And so when you're doubling off the baseline and you're that primary defender, he's literally pointing for the double to come over. And the double is, he said, hey, just dribble this way,
yeah.
is what you're actually
right,
saying.
there's the hoop, Perez.
When that double does not come and you point to the basket, you are opening things just a wee bit too much.
After 20 points now is Perez, and back in the ball game are the Nuggets. They went down 20, have brought it back to 10 with just under 4 minutes to go in this quarter. Much better job offensively, I thought. A couple of easy field goal buckets for the Nuggets there.
Donald Carey up to 16 points now after joining two things. As we take a look at the Win Free Fuel, score your Waitomo Mula now.
Scan that QR code, chuck your number in. You'll get a little wheel that you can spin, and you'll automatically score some kind of Waitomo Mula to use on your next fuel up at any Waitomo fuel stop. I'll say it once and I'll say it again. In this economy, scan that QR code. We'll need some tanks filled up. There was a lot of journeys going to Rotorua today.
Yeah, it's a solid drive for the FI out of Tauranga. The Nuggets, I'm guessing they flew a little somewhere a little bit closer.
Yeah, I don't think they would have driven.
Those are the battle days when I played, when you'd have to drive up and down the country.
No flights? Like no
no, quite a few flights, but not too many flights on the North Island.
And what was that, like the 80s?
Let me see if I can't change this commentary.
You called me youth, I just got to bite back, Casey.
Well, 10 points the difference now on the Nuggets. Stringing those stops together, the same offensive explosion needs to continue for them to work their way back into it, though.
Perez likes this matchup. Zana, a great job to slide in front, but...
Oh, that's a late whistle. Well, after that ball left his hand.
Although...
He is telling Coach Mike Kelly, that's an easy call.
Perez, a big journey to halfway and back before he shoots his pair from the Chemist Warehouse strike.
Zana, after just a minute in the ball game, heads back to the bench with another foul. Frustrated with himself, frustrating. It can be, not getting that playing time as an import.
It is a bit of a weird dynamic. You're brought in, obviously, to have a big impact, but when you've got a local as good as Carter Hawkboy, sometimes you've got to take a seat to that. Carter Hawkboy playing 18 minutes so far. There he is, right on cue. Back to Biesto. Hawkboy can shoot it and will knock it down.
He's grown so much confidence in that jump shot in the last year and a half, 18 months. It's become quite a weapon for him early in the season here in the NBL.
He stretches the Whai offense, his perimeter shooting, and then there he is defending Todd with as well. Walls up, and Todd just cannot convert. 27% from the field.
Hopefully doing a much better job of staying on his feet in that possession. Bruce Hunt can't get the roll on the activities. Christian Martin checking back into the ballgame. Good to see him out there.
Nicely as well off the bench. Back to Teres, a rare appearance from the perimeter. Drops it down to Bardsley, the slippery eel, easy bucket.
Yeah, nice movement without the basketball there, cutting it back to single digits. And as good as Perez has been backing things down, you need those cutters. And the 2 times I've noticed it tonight, it's been Matthew Bardsley.
Tara Hunt over it to Vizant. Destoke probes at it. Shot clock's got to be winding down. Poor boy over the long withers. What a bucket.
What a hoop boy. Stepping up nicely here. And the Whai offense is slowed down, showing off a deft touch. As Cruz Pedro Hunt nearly forces another turnover.
Kerry Jr. will get Withers a seat. Liking what I'm seeing from Kerry Jr. so far. His first time playing outside of the United States. After a stint in the G League following his collegiate career.
He's done a nice job of keeping that scoreboard ticking over. Hasn't shot the best percentage today. He's just 5 for 13 from the field, but 4 out of 5 from the line. And the only Otago Nugget to hit multiple threes today. He's 2 of 7 from beyond the arc.
Such an essential part of the Sal's NBL is shooting from beyond the arc. That success gets you a long way. Right on cue. Misses another attempt. Yesto now, point guard duties have been at the helm for him. And man, how many of those are we going to see today?
Quite a few. Saying it's on the arm, not giving him that space. Kerry Jr. saying, asking, trying to figure out what it is. And it's on the arm? Yeah, it is. He's like, okay. Okay, I'll accept
take that.
I'll accept that if that's what you
Prove
say. 16 points for Kerry. Take another look at it. Tough to see from that angle. Happens quick. It's Cruz Pedro Hunt. Hits the first.
24-year-old out of Auckland, played all 20 games last year, averaging 13 points a game, 2.5 assists and almost 4 rebounds. He's really found his feet since returning back to Aotearoa after his college stint.
Yeah, solid player. First touchdown, played with the Tuatara for half a season, immediately after his college career, and then has settled down in Tauranga as a starting point guard, and looking like he's might be on the way towards that 27-point outing he had in the opening round of the year.
14 is the lead now for the Whai. Martin looking to close that. Perez active on the rebound.
Just could not keep it in bounds. Did his best to tippy-toe across that baseline.
Masters now 2 inbound. I like the activity from him off the bench, 11 points. 3 of 6 from beyond the arc. Just under a minute to go in this third quarter. Plenty of action here on Sky Sport for the Sal's NBL, round 2, 2025. Biesto to Cruz. Porpoy attacks, finds the lane somehow, can't get the finish to go.
I like this, a little speed for the Nuggets.
A little Pinoy step from Kerry Jr. there. We'll head to the Chemist Warehouse at the Stripe. How many times can we say that for the Nuggets?
It's been a few. Been a fair few free throw opportunities. 22 for 26. She's a fantastic percentage from the stripe as well. Nobody's been there more than Jose Perez, who's 12 of 15, but Kerry Jr. 4 of 5, 80%. That is a nice percentage for him as you see Cruz Pedro Hunt check out of the ball game. Looks like he picked up foul number 3.
Chris Jones, however, under play, 15 points, 5 rebounds, just the 1 assist tonight as Kerry Jr. locks, loads, and berries. Each free throw made this season gives a donation from Chemist Warehouse to build hoops in schools around Aotearoa, thanks to the Chemist Warehouse Hoops in Schools program. Inspiring Kiwi young guns to get involved as Carey Jr. 2 from 2 with these.
Summing is number 13, Josh Atchison for the Nuggets.
Yeah, the Chemist Warehouse might have to rethink their sponsorship of the Hoops in Schools program with every free throw if the Nuggets keep playing like this. There's going to be a lot of free throws.
Maybe Nuggets can pay some rent to
sure.
help.
I'm sure they're okay with the expenditure. I'm sure it was all part of the plan.
Yeah, so heavy point guard duties for him tonight. Masters again, all alone in the corner. There it is.
This lack of communication. The screen comes together, 2 defenders follow 1 offensive player, and unfortunately they're following the offensive player into the post. That's not where they've been getting hurt. Xander Marsters.
Doing it out is Carey Jr. will look to probe now.
14.
Withers. Bang, bang!
Todd Withers gets the catch, hits the jump shot. They needed that up to 15 points now to go along with his 7 rebounds. Little screen and roll action, doesn't need a lot of space to get that shot off. He's saying, got my hand too, give me that whistle.
Replay, of course, courtesy of GJ Gardner-Holmes. The Phi lead 77-65, 1 quarter to go here on Sky Sport.
Pick your teams. You 2 are going that way, and you 2 are going that way. Okay, you guys ready? We're going to count it down. Everyone. So. Oh, this is 2v2, is it? Okay, cool. 2 versus 2, so you go that way, and you 2 go that way. Okay, on the count of 3. 3, 2, 1, let's go. So we've got 2 guys that would be bouncing the ball down and getting buckets. So how do mind if you get a bucket? Come back, so that's 1 bucket each, sort of per side, and buckets on that side. Not bad, we've got a bucket on that side also. It looks like these young players play basketball, and so they're getting buckets. Layups, boys, layups too if you can. Layups, yep, back, and then, so the main thing is, these guys are getting buckets. Is everyone enjoying these guys getting buckets? I like it too. Okay, final. So last time, they look fit. Last time, here we go. And last basket. Okay, counting down to 3. Ooh, 2 baskets. Ooh, a basket over here. Okay, Taylor, thank you very much. How do my boys, how do my? So guys, please put your hands together for some of these young guys. Break. I love it.
No mai, hoki mai. Welcome back here to Rotorua South's NBL action 2025 round 2, bringing you some exciting ball games, including this very one. The Tauranga Whai leading the Otago Nuggets 77-65. 1 more quarter to go, Casey. Still anyone's game.
Still is anyone's game, but what the Phi did that quarter to build that big lead is they took better care of the basketball. 9 turnovers in the first half, 0 in that 3rd quarter, and looked much better offensively when they built that lead. So looking to continue that kind of activity with the ball in hand. If the Nuggets can't force more turnovers, it's going to be difficult for them to keep pace.
Might have to get a large pepperoni pizza on their way home, only $29.99. Scan that QR code or use Sal's Dribble 25. Looks pretty good. I heard Casey's getting one on the way home.
Just might have to get that order in early.
Oh yeah, window sales close. Panic.
They stay open for me. I'm known.
Keep their business afloat, Casey. Withers.
Oh, there we go, Todd Withers.
Carrying on the momentum from the end of the 3rd.
He is a streaky shooter. Once he gets his eye in, you know he's going to get a few more up. He hasn't actually shot a ton of 3s today, just 3 for 5 now to get to his 18 points, that well-needed injection of athleticism.
Masters head down to the key, plays off 2. Carey Jr. throws his head back in frustration. Actually did a great job initially.
Yeah, but then got his hand caught in the cookie jar eventually. And that's the problem with verticality. He has to stay that way. And Marsters just just baited him enough to reach out for that one. Unfortunate for Carey Jr. as we take a look at the game MVP. Cruz Pero Hunt, Chris Jones, splitting votes right now. Back and forth. Jose Perez, down Carey Jr. Just is like a lot of imports sandwiched by a couple of Kiwis in this one.
Great to see Kiwis getting in and amongst. Make sure you get in and amongst. Scan that QR code and cast your vote. Masters surely got to be making some sort of play with 14 points off the bench.
Yeah, he's been playing well. He's really become quite the weapon for them. And I think after those free throws, he's actually up to 16 now. So nice job by Masters to continue to make himself involved.
Chris Jones finds Hawkboy in the corner. We know he can do it. Buries it. 2 for 2.
Looking so confident. 15 points in this ball game. He is just got no fear, the young fella.
It's a young fella who's done well so far. NZNBL. Smiler uses that ball screen from Withers. Fires it away to Carey Jr. Works on Sean Biesto. Tries and tries again. Gets a third attempt to go.
There you go. Third time's the charm. The stick-to-itiveness pays off for John Carey Jr. and the Nuggets staying close enough.
Masters can't capitalize on that. We don't want to leave him open.
Wide open. I think a little bit too open. Looked like he got an extra half step in there and might have had a half second too long to think about it.
Sometimes it does put you off being that wide open. Withers just off the back rim. Man, these rims have been nasty
They're
tonight.
not soft, man. These rims are not soft at all. These are the rims that nightmares are made out of. These shooters are going to be thinking about them in a cold sweat about 4 a.m. Like, oh my gosh, don't send me there again to that rim.
We'll see that on GG Gardner Holmes, a replay. Todd Withers will sure wake up in that suite you're talking about, Casey. The Nuggets will be happy to head home to the ice-cold box that is the Edgar Centre. Cruz Pero Hunt, ball on a string.
Uh-oh.
Oh, boy.
Oh, Todd Withers was going to meet him.
Don't do it to him, Carter Hawkboy. Chris Jones, the beneficiary of some great ball movement. And
Was that a roll? Was that a roll we saw on the rim?
Is that our first one of tonight?
Chris Jones, he's been methodical. 17 points now, 6 for 10 from the field, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, a steal.
He just in with a nice little floater to answer, a bit of a settler for the Nuggets. Chris Jones, full head of steam. Darcy Knox a little slower to get up. Of course, a Dunedin legend, 29 years old, attended Otago Boys High, has been playing for the Nuggets, 85 games for the boys in blue.
Uh-oh, we're going to have to keep an eye on that one. Looks like he's crossing 100 this year. Going to have to tell the league office to get a graphic up.
Yeah, design that graphic. Darcy Knox, he deserves one, has been with both their championship squads, 2020 and 2022. Of course, Brent Matahaide welcomed to the NZNBL commentary staff this year.
And viewers across the country can't wait.
Neither can I. I'm sure we'll see a message in the group chat in about 3 minutes' time referencing what we're talking about.
Nice job by Chris Jones staying active defensively. 14.7 minutes to go. This is about the time you need to go. You're essentially looking at a bucket a minute that you have to make up if the Nuggets don't make some kind of move here. Every second that ticks off makes it a little bit more difficult to get yourself back in the ball game.
That 72-point mark. They've really struggled offensively tonight and did so against the Southland Sharks in their season opener. And Zana getting some valuable minutes and disrupts defensively straight away.
Yeah, Zana understands the rule. Perez saying, well, he touched it, and it does not matter internationally in FIBA. It just matters that it ended up in the backcourt.
It is still having words about that one. Important here for the Nuggets to get a stop. Or the Fire could be inching closer to their second win of the season.
It's the little differences between the FIBA game and the American game that really trips Americans out. The first time through, the tipping the ball on the rim, that one's always a good one. The backcourt rules all a little bit different. Perez gets away with little contact. Zana can't get the second shot up.
There are a lot of adjustments to be made if you're an import coming into the South NBL League. Things they very quickly will learn.
And always the level of physicality. It takes a lot of getting used to. Imports quite often those first few games wear a lot of foul trouble before you realize what you can and can't get away with.
Saw that for the Jets in their opening game against the Hawks as well. Markel Mitchell having to take a fair bit of a seat. Duo of locals here, Aitchison and Knox in the backcourt. Good shot of coach Mike Kelly in his first Sal's NBL season. Carey Jr. at the point guard. Likes this matchup against Cruz. Into a corner, stands on the baseline.
Yeah, he got himself in a good position, but the unforced error there takes away an opportunity to cut into the lead a little bit.
Still having some choice words with our officials. Nonetheless, the Phi the other way. They have looked really comfortable for a majority of tonight, especially that man there, Cruz Hunt, up to 23. Chris Jones weaving in and gets a nice little floater.
Soft touch. He has found that net with precision on multiple occasions.
16-point lead now for the Phi. Doesn't look like it's stopping any time soon. Hunt all alone but can't capitalize.
Oh, the ball is just bouncing exactly where the Phi need it to bounce now. Made their own luck with hustle. Being rewarded with some easy ones down the stretch.
Just ticked over the 6-minute mark. Chris Jones separating himself. Can't bury it, much to the pleasure of the Nuggets. Perez making something work. Carey Jr. is not afraid to pull it.
1 3-pointer there. They needed that. Can they get a stop or two here? String that along? But Chris Jones understands that. He's going to start working this clock a little bit, which I don't think the Phi want to do just yet. It's still about quality shots, not the quantity of time running off the clocks.
That's a good look. Chris Jones knows he can hit that. Just off the side of the rim. Jet Thompson will come into the ball game with about 5 minutes to go.
21 for Chris Jones as he heads off to the bench. 23 for Cruz Hunt, 16 for Zonda Masters, and 15 for Carter Hopeboy. Those are the double-figure scores for the Phi.
Perez just leaving Masters like a house on the side of the road. Gets an easy 2 to go. So 24.
20 for Donald Carey Jr. and 18 for Todd Withers, the import trio doing all the heavy lifting.
That's of course brought to you by Chemist Warehouse Bardsley.
Oh, he's a heck of a defender. Can he create something offensively? Finds his teammate.
Quality look in transition. There he goes again, putting the work in, but gets the foul.
Solid two-hand shove in the back of Bearster there. Sometimes you can get away with it.
Probably not when you do it right in front of the referee.
Well, you know, one hand, you can kind of get away with one hand, but the two-hand shove extension, that is a difficult one to slip by.
Slip by, doing that because he's slippery area, or you just a natural genius?
None of it is purposeful. But sometimes it works out.
Sometimes. Interestingly, so only an 11-point game. 4.5 minutes to go. Zana, all contact, Perez doesn't like that one.
Just extremely aggressive up front on that dribble. Leaves on not really a lot of space to go, but that physicality takes the foul.
Only Perez's second foul in 32 minutes of game time tonight. Zana looking to go downhill now. Uses his length and gets that one to go, his first bucket of the ball game.
That's an import who says, man, I got to get on the board. What's going on here? Let's get me a touch in a place where I like to score.
Besto will collect that rebound. The position goes begging for the Nuggets. Go back to Zana. Likes that one. But he doesn't know these Rotorua rims just yet.
Well, he got the first one. He's going to keep that going.
Whai will contest the rebound, but give up the foul eventually. 13-point lead for the Whai.
Now with 4 minutes left on the Whai. Probably looking to play the clock a little bit more. Stretch those possessions out. I don't want anything with more than 4 seconds on the shot clock going up. Perez can't get that whistle.
Especially if they continue that defensive effort they've been giving, disallowing anything in rhythm for the Nuggets as the ball goes flying. Almost saved by Smiler there. Make sure you cast your vote. Who was your game MVP? Cruz, Pero Hunt sitting comfortably at the top there. Chris Jones looking to make a bit of a margin.
Move the space there. Some vote switching right now. Could pick a new MVP.
Scan that QR code. Join the fun. Have your say. Hopboy also on the list there. And his offender, Todd Withers. Hopboy shot fakes and gets downhill. Acrobatic. Draws the foul. Heads to the Chemist Warehouse.
Stops the clock. It's a trip to the Chemist Warehouse line, where, of course, every made free throw this year sends a donation to the BVNZ Hoops in Schools programming, setting up hoops all across the country at schools just like yours.
Great to see that rise in participation from our young ballers. Future Sal's NBL stars brewing.
And they are brewing. They're brewing quite a few of them. The teenagers have arrived.
Lots of young talent this year.
You got the old veterans like Carlin Davison, the old heads.
Seems like a bit of a veteran. We got Leon Henry in the mix, you know.
Hey, great to see Lee back.
What was the stat? 13 guys not even born when he made his NBL debut.
I'll leave him alone.
No, I mean, it's great. Still balled out, of course.
He's always got some hoops in him.
Aitchison just misses the bunny in transition.
That almost looked like it was going to be a carry.
Zant smooth as usual. We'll say that's a pass gone wrong.
These teams are stretching because everybody's getting a little bit loose.
Besto
What
loose
is
himself
happening
in
with this
transition.
fast break activity? Offensive foul there, I think, on Bazant. Coming in on the glass.
You know, it's been a quiet night scoring-wise for Besto. 8 points, but up to 9 rebounds and 8 assists.
Yeah, it's been active. I think it's probably been his most effective performance of the season. Very solid defensively, has great size, and not really being asked to be a scorer with this team, but you like to see that level of facilitation he's had going today.
And an efficient night at that too. His first Sal's NBL 3 after going 0 for 10 across the first 2 games. And
Cruz Pro just fouled Perez with his face.
Look, you don't want to take a hit like that from that strong body, that's for sure.
He just wore that bow on his grill and got called for a foul.
It is the worst nightmare as a guard. There is nothing more you can do.
I laugh because it's funny, because it's true. We take another look at it. Look at this quick elbow, bang!
Oh.
The shoulder just comes straight through. The hands on the body first, but the only thing that Cruz Pro Hunt's really feeling is that in the face.
Might be a nasty little bruise he'll wake up with tomorrow morning. Not much you can do to answer the strength of Perez, who has lived at the free throw line tonight. Those were his 16th and 17th attempts from that Chemist Warehouse stripe.
And that's going to be free throws for Aitchison now.
Tally up to 30 attempts from the Chemist Warehouse stripe after these 2 are the Nuggets.
And still enough time for the hope of a comeback. Is that Carter hopefully fouling out? They've just checked him out of the ball game. Check the foul count on that one.
I believe that will be
his
5th foul. Still up there in game MVP voting. Of course, scan that QR code, head along to Mix and Pick, cast your vote. Cruz, Pero Hunt leading the way right now, 23 points, 5 rebounds and 4 assists for him tonight. 0 turnovers, KC. Great part of that stat in 28 minutes.
Well, especially because that's how the Phi turned it around in the second half. Remember, 9 turnovers at halftime, have had just 1 turnover here in the second half, doing a much better job of taking care of the basketball, and Coach Matt Lacey will be pleased with that. You know, last season they had a recipe of shooting a lot of threes and taking care of the ball, playing solid D, and that kept them in games. I think they've lifted the talent level this season, so if they can keep the same formula, they think they can lift the results as well.
It'd be great to see Fire crack the playoffs in just their second year in the league, but tough to come by this year. We've got some stacked rosters going on.
There's a lot of talent. It's top to bottom talent. It's going to be very difficult for those teams that are going to be fighting it out for playoff spots to solidify those opportunities, because this is a type of season where it looks like anybody can beat anyone on any given night.
Can't complain about yet another competitive Sal's NBL season. The semi-final of last year was the double OT finish with the Rams in the ears. Can't get much more exciting than that.
A short-handed Rams that are Airs at that. No Sam Froling available for that one.
Yep, Lockie Albrook then decided to just heat up. And
it's just like the NBA to have their camp at that time. Not thinking about us.
they totally planned that. They were on the Rams side.
Well, they see the league as a threat.
You know what? It sure is getting there, the South NBL. Lifting in talent and quality as
Chris Jones up to 23 points now on those two makes from the Chemist Warehouse stripe. Equal leading scorer in the game for the Phi. 24 for Perez, 23 for Carey Jr. as well. 23 is a magical number today.
Thought 2 was the magical number with fouls earlier in the game.
Well, 23 is always a magical number.
Why is that?
I'm going to say MJ. MJ's made that one magic.
Not LeBron?
No, definitely not LeBron.
Oh,
I'm from a different age. I don't think LeBron would. I think 23.
Yeah,
I think the first guy to wear it.
Yeah, we're two different generations going on in this commentary box, Casey. And speaking of different generations, here's another one. Some young fans in Rotorua.
He's got Kobe jersey on. You know he ain't choosing LeBron.
Respect, respect. And the Nuggets, lots of comms here in this timeout. Under 3 minutes to go. The Phi, a pretty comfortable lead here, 93-78. Todd Withers on your screen, been an injury replacement or just kind of a space holder while the Nuggets wait for their last important to come.
Well, he's got another contract coming in the NBL 1, so it's really fortunate that the Nuggets were able to secure his services for the time being. A fantastic defensive player and lists the talent level on both ends for the Nuggets.
Quite experienced now is Todd Withers, 28 years old. Obviously he had a 4-year collegiate career, a year in the G League, a year in Italy, and 2 years with the Nuggets, most recently being at the Perth Wildcats. A lot of great development going on there. Carey Jr. has been great tonight as he pulls from beyond the arc and doesn't hit anything. That's 3 for 12 now for the import.
Well, the shot selection has to be quick at this point in time, but you probably want to create a little bit of a higher quality look than that, even down 15 with 2.5 to go. But desperate times call for desperate measures, and that was a desperate attempt from 3.
Hero Hunt on one leg and still gets the finish to go. 25 points for the young man now.
Trying to chase his season high 27. As Perez gets the stat monster, 26 points and another rebound, up to a double-double now for Jose Perez.
34 minutes tonight as well, a heavy load for the Nuggets. Max Stoddard or Patrick Freeman for the Nuggets as well. Nice little local pieces that provide something off the bench. As offensive rebound, of course, goes to who else? Jaden Boucher.
Good hustle inside. Boucher doing the yeoman's-like work tonight.
Chris Hunt. One dribble pull-up, just short. Back the other way for the Nuggets. Smiler will retain that. Oh, got to be some sweat on the floor, I think.
That's unlucky. That's one of those new floors. Doesn't take much sweat on the new floors to become a little bit slippery.
Jones will slow things down, aware of the time and scoreboard. They lead by 15. Jones just toying with Perez, gets to the paint, a little bit short, but falls with the O board and too much contact there from Smiler.
Well, they take the foul. That's going to send them back to the Chemist Warehouse stripe. A chance for some lucky kids across the country to get a hoop in their school with a couple of free throws made, adding to the kitty of the Chemist Warehouse Hoops in School program with BB&Z.
late subs coming in. Guys getting their NZNBL debut here. Liam Boomer out of Otago Boys High School, and I believe we saw Daniel Ashcroft on the screen as well. Mikey Ruskate, long time Otago man, coming out of Otago Boys High, attending Otago University now.
Coach Mike Kelly, of course, has to start thinking about Friday's game. Not long. It's going to be a long road trip for the Nuggets. Going to be staying up here on the North Island.
That's what Mad March brings you.
Games on games on games.
So for you guys at home, hope you've been tuning in to Mad March here in Sal's NBL. Only round 2, but it's been so exciting so far, and more to come. The Saints and the Giants will battle tomorrow night.
Oh, not the violation. Scourge of the game. Get those free throw line violations out of it.
You don't want any more?
I like the refs calling it because we can't have these early entries into the lane on free throws.
It's not that hard to box out, right?
I'm adamant about it, almost as adamant as Andrew Mulligan.
A fired up duo you guys can get, eh?
Especially about those lane violations. Not a fan of violations.
Shake it in your boots, Casey. Far out.
Yeah, old man yells at cloud.
Chris Jones and Biesto will head to the bench. CJ Flavel in the ball game. A couple of token minutes at the end. Mikey Rusk leading the way for the Nuggets. You can likely say it'll be the Phi that come away with it tonight. What a game they've had. They lead 17 going into the last minute of tonight's matchup.
Yeah. On the big positive notes for the Phi, came in averaging just over 70 points and could barely crack 60 against the Bulls, but dropping 97 tonight. So the offense moving in the right direction. The Nuggets, positive signs for them as well. I think it's going to take them a few more days to get acclimated, but another chance to get their first win of the season when they travel to the Hawks' Nest in Taradale. And Rodney Green Arenas matching up against the Jackson Ball superstar team. Darnell Cowart, he's been impressive.
Jokic from Darnell Cowart. Vision on that man, just so impressive.
He knows where his teammates are. Jaden Bazant misses a layup.
Kaimani Komoana. The ball thought about it for a second and then said, no.
So there are some crazy rolls on these rims. Some crazy rolls.
Kind of going against the law of physics, even. Ashcroft over to Rusk, who will enjoy the last possession of this matchup. Still going hard as the youngsters battle away. Josh Aitchison, the last bucket of the ball game, you'd assume.
Oh, player timeout.
Oh, plot twist.
Oh, the player timeout. Well, it gives us a chance to show you this QR code. You can scan that for a chance to win tickets to this season's games. Any kind of group, your sports team group, your community group, your church group. Once again, not any kind of group.
Basically, it's about the
But
kind of group.
most of, all those good groups out there, those are the ones we're looking for. I don't want like a horde of zombies asking for tickets. No zombies.
But that's such a, like, why'd you go to zombies?
I'm thinking about a big group, like, you know, of things.
Your first thought is zombies.
Also, I can say zombies, I'm not going to offend anyone. Unless the zombie proud out there.
Your zombie proud don't come into the South NBL DMs as the Tauranga Whai. They get it done over the Otago Nuggets. 97-82 here in Unison Arena, Rotorua. Whai 2-1 now on the ladder. Nuggets, no win to show for them just yet. Cruz Pera Hunt is your mix and pick game MVP.
Well-deserving MVP for Cruz Pera Hunt. Got that shot going, got the offense flowing. 25 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 steals for him.
No turnovers as well for the young gun. Notable efforts as well from the Nuggets, but they just couldn't get it done tonight. Couldn't find their flow offensively like you alluded to many a times, Casey. And that's brought to you by Chemist Warehouse.
And there it is, Cruz Pera Hunt and Chris Jones, both on 25 points, 26 for Perez. Don Carey Jr. up to 23, backed up by Carter Hopeboy, Todd Withers. On to the rebounds, which were in favor of the Phi in the end. Sean Bairstow able to grab 9 of them. Jose Perez with a double-double with 11 assists. Sean Bairstow up there was kind of on triple-double watch. in the single digits. Didn't get it done, but a nice solid game from him. Carey Jr. leading the way for the Nugs. There's the blocks, 3 for Perez, 2 for Withers, and 3 steals for Chris Jones to lead all comers in that category.
Impressive outing from the Fire, who bounced back from a loss against the Bulls on Monday evening. One better, 97 points as opposed to their 61 they had. Rotorua seeing his first Sal's NBL game since 2011. Great crowd here in Rotorua, made the road trip. There they are, smiles on the face. Thank you for joining us here on Sky Sport. Many action still to come tomorrow night. The Saints play the Giants. Ka kite anō.
Players and the team appreciate you because you guys are the bomb. Thank you very, very much. We'll be going out very soon and you'll see us soon. Hey, salute going out to each and everyone. One love. Hey.
Like he's not.
Say, what do I do? I'll do this.